Okay.
let's jump right back into it. So,
Like I was saying, which we're on a little bit more of a time crunch, so I'm like, let's say what we have to say and run it
say
up.
what you need to say.
Oh wait, can I
Say what you
resend
need to
my?
say.
So good. Can I
Say what you need to
resend?
say. Say what you. Yeah, you can resend yours. It doesn't matter.
Did you send in the general? I'm gonna send in the general chat.
Yeah, you can
Wait, so
resend it.
my concern was that if I sent it in the general chat, Tyra could see it. Is that?
I mean, there's nothing here that is a spoiler.
Oh, you're right. I'm literally so silly.
Tyra's just gonna be like, "Oh my god, I knew it."
Honestly, though, I feel like if she knew, like, I think if she knows at all how we felt about character season one, if someone's in a drastically different spot, I might feel like, damn, what they do. But if she sees season two people like Nolan in the I hope she gets killed, that is technically a spoiler.
um,
Which I just learned her first name is Maddie. So now I know two more ways
I
to
was
say
right.
bitch.
Nolan. It was
Yeah,
Nolan.
Nolan's her surname, yeah. Nolan, whatever.
Gotcha.
Anyway. Oh god. Who's texting?
Anyway, I get rid
Oh,
of.
also apparently I have more time. Because these people want to push stuff to 6. Well, 5-year time. So
Cool,
wait, no, 7-year time.
cool. So I could have went to the
Anyway,
gym.
cool. I will have to cut out in about 30 minutes to turn off my crock pot. But let's get started. Let's go.
Let's get started. So, I
We
think
have to pull
it's
yours up again.
I think it's fair to start with mine, given that it is the better opinion.
Whoa. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say that. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't rework mine, but anything that I felt about, I mean, the only thing I would change is the counselor guy. That's pretty much it. I feel like everybody else, maybe Caitlin's mom.
I feel like I gain more respect for Caitlin's mom. Fair enough.
Yeah,
You had her low.
I'd
think I
have
have her.
her probably at D.
Okay. What,
I
higher than me?
I
Fair.
just don't really care about her. Like she's just another. She's just whatever.
Not not just another character. How
Just
disrespectful.
another character. She is. Um, let's see. So I'll start with trader enforcer guy. I don't know his name. I feel like. Oh, do you have it open?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like he was.
Wait, are you going on B?
Yeah.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember his role at all. I was like, I am blinking on his role. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Trader enforcer guy.
Trader Enforcer guy.
I really liked him. I thought he was a compelling character in that he just he kind of had this conflicting idea, you know. He wanted to he kind of had one of those like hidden character arcs that are like common in Arcane where like you know, he's just trying to do the right thing or kind of sort of, but he just kind of gets corrupt along the way and you know loses his way, but like at the end of the day he still loves his daughter, you know, and that's his reason, his motivation behind everything, and I just love that. So I just thought that was very compelling of him. Uh,
Okay, I know here. I thought you were talking about the person that's on the top of your list, and I was like, I don't remember him being an enforcer at all. He does not look like an enforcer. You're talking about the person next to Caitlin's mom.
next to
Okay, yeah,
Caitlin's
I
mom.
remember him.
Yeah,
I agree though. Yeah, I think he had a really good arc to me.
yeah. Next is Heimerdinger. I I like Heimerdinger. I think like I wouldn't even really say his character arc is also just kind of hidden. Like, I mean, you kind of get it. You kind of know like where they're going because his whole thing is like you know, you need more time. No, no, this needs more time. It needs more working. A few more years, like 10 more years or whatever. But this man, you know, lives like 1,000 years or whatever. So
True. He's
it's
living
like,
life la vida loca.
yeah, it's
Everyone
like
else is
whatever.
stressed as
I
hell.
don't know why it took him to talk to a few people, a few other humans. Like, did he just not talk to humans his entire life? Because he's just it was like Victor is sick and he's just like, don't worry, man. After another like 10, 20 years of research, I'm sure you'll be there, and then we'll finally have Hextech out there. Like, dog, I ain't got 20 years.
No, and
What are you talking about?
he's like, you know what? And if we get sick on the way, we get sick on the way. You know, if we turn to
And
ash, we turn to ash.
Heimerdinger's just like, damn. You mean to tell me that humans have a shorter lifespan than me? Fuck,
Oh shit,
I just didn't
that's
realize
fucking
that.
crazy.
Damn. Living around all these humans, I didn't even realize like they be dying in front of me and stuff. That's crazy.
He literally Heimerdinger season 2. Have you? I've been busting his song, his little ukulele song
Oh,
in the alternate universe.
I've been singing that song.
That shit goes so like. Why does it make me feel better in my life? I'm like, just let the gears turn, you know.
Just let the gears turn. No, like, no. My favorite line is right when the war quiets down, strike up the band. I be singing that line to its
Oh my god,
highest.
that one's so good.
Like when I first heard it, I was
so
like,
good.
dang, okay,
And
yeah.
can I make a comment about Heimerdinger? He's higher up on my list than I think he is on yours. But like, I don't think I fully understood him until he expressed himself through song. He's a musical theater major. I should have known. He talks and I'm like, girly. When he was like sneaking through the halls with Echo, I'm like, oh, you're a performing
You're a
artist.
child.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, but
This man majored in theater and production. He's just living his little life.
But he's also one of the founders of Piltover. Somehow,
literally, I don't know who let him in the room. Like, I love him, but I don't know who let him in that room. He just kind of be there.
It's just, I definitely, I mean, I didn't have a problem with Heimerdinger in the first season. I think that, like, I knew where his character was going. And he didn't do anything bad or anything, like, besides just, like, human, like, that just, humans, you know, having a shorter lifespan than him. Other than that, I'm like, dog, I don't know how you didn't see that, you know, 10,000 years ago or however long you've been alive, but whatever.
I think the problem for me is also I'll talk about Heimerdinger when I get to him.
Okay. Yeah, but I just think that he was a good character. He's not higher on my list just because, like, I don't know. I mean, he's just a support character. He didn't really, like, at the end of the day, I'm not saying the show could be like better without him, or I just mean that, you know, he served his purpose. He was a good character, but that's that. All right, moving on.
He's not like designed to be loved. I kind of admire that about his character, but it's also like, given that it's not like I'm in love with him, you know?
Yeah. I don't know her name, but this is the lady who lost her son. This is the mother of the kid that Jace accidentally killed. And then and the guy in the yellow jacket up at the front were gonna overthrow Silco with Savika and kill Silco, but then the guy at the front, Savika kills him instead of Silco, remember? And then, like, she kind of just walks out.
I feel so bad that I didn't even rank her. I just couldn't remember. Before season 2, I was like, where did she? I could not remember her story. That's beautiful. Okay, I feel so bad. I could not. I was so distracted by. I was like, girl, why is green goop coming out of your nose? We gotta go. But damn, I forgot about her whole arc. So bad, I didn't even rank her. Damn.
Yeah, I just think she was a cool character. I just think she's well designed. I just think, yeah. Next is I gotta brush up on these people's names. I don't know this man. Oh, Smeech.
Oh yeah, it's a disgusting ass name too.
Yeah, Smeech.
Crazy that he's in B, but go off, King.
No,
crazy that he's in B, but sure.
He's got a cool design. He's
cool got a cool design. What, Spider Raccoon? The
I
inspiration being
mean,
a raccoon that's also a mechanical spider?
he's a Yordle, like just like Heimerdinger, but he also there's also like
That's
this
not my Hammerdinger, but okay.
there's also this like inferiority complex that he obviously has because he's done all these different like changes,
Modifications.
modifications to his body to make him better. And I just think he's cool. He's well designed for like how he can like how he like made himself taller to like be menacing over people, and he's got a cool voice and everything. I just think he was a cool character. Um,
He's definitely
and
interesting.
I can
Yeah.
respect him. I can
I can
respect him
respect the character
for his fight with
design.
Civica.
I would never respect him. That's my opinion.
Next is the man, the whole reason behind this entire show, Singed. Well, maybe not. I mean, he's pretty much most of the events are because of this fool right here. But
No, literally, this motherfucker does some crazy
I mean,
shit.
it's crazy. If someone had just like arrested him a long time ago, none of this would have happened. Like,
And the fact he's still free. At the end of season 2, he's still completely free.
I can't believe that after the fighting was done, I can't believe Caitlyn didn't go, hey, I know where Singed is gonna go because he's got a daughter down there. I know how to get there. Can we go over there, and when Singed comes back, just like make sure we have a bunch of enforcers right there? Thank you. Because that man
Literally,
has to go.
he slipped out so fast. Like
Um some people are thinking that he's gonna go cause problems for, other countries or whatever. So
him
maybe
and his daughter against
him
the
him him
world.
and his alien ascended daughter.
Aliens.
Um yeah.
No.
I
I
think
really.
Singe,
Oh
I
my
think he's a
goodness.
cool character. I called it. I don't mean to flex or anything. I called Warwick. Um so and
Not
when
the
and when
flag.
Imani was, I want y'all to know, when Imani was sending me messages and was like, what is this man? Will it stop cutting back to this man just doing whatever? Like, what is he doing? And I'm like, you just don't get it, bro. And I got it the
I
whole
literally
time.
didn't. They didn't give me anything.
Even when I told Imani that he was gonna create Warwick, she just didn't process that he was like retrieving the beast. He was putting the beast together with
I mean,
Vander.
I understood. Like, okay, shut the fuck up. It's
Yeah,
like
basically what I'm saying.
7-second scenes at the end of an emotionally gripping, like traumatizing episode. All right,
Imani's over here like,
if I'm like,
who's that?
and it's like,
Singe? What is he
anyway,
doing?
so he's so we see two wolves in the cave, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Where's Jinx? Like, what happened to Jace? Like, bitch,
It's like
like, I cared about
the
it at the
camera.
time I needed to care about it. Okay, not a second earlier.
It's like the cameraman is just like, all right, this is Piltover, and Zahn literally in flames. All right, anyways, here's Singed.
He just
Look,
like drinking his tea, blood
he's
coming from him into this beast, and
he's
I'm like, if
standing
you
at
don't
the
fucking
end
do
of a
some
cave.
shit,
He's standing at the
I
front of a cave. That's that. Yeah.
I respect Singe so much. Like, he's like, to me, he's Heimerdinger, but like on level, like a few levels up, where it's like, again, a character that doesn't have to do a lot to have a lot of impact. Like, I feel like Heimerdinger is that way, but it's in his like kind of not resolution, but like his not abstinence, but just like his refrain from doing things. Heimerdinger like spurs action from other characters, and I feel like in the opposite way, like Sin's just like doing whatever the fuck he wants without like any other foil that's stopping him in his works. Is also like, even though it's not his intention to affect anything greater than like him and like his like lab, he has so much of an impact on like the entire plot of things. It's hilarious to me, and I kind of like love that those two characters just exist it like in the background but have so much impact, but because they're not forefronters, no one blames them for shit. It's so crazy. Like, what?
Also, just like, I love how literally every character either got what they deserved or learned a lesson to some capacity in the show, and Singe is just like committing crimes, and then anyways,
Well, I got my daughter back.
I'll be over here. Um,
Crazy.
last one is, I don't remember his name, but he's the guy that tried to overthrow Silco back in season 1. I just think he had a cool voice. I think he had a cool design. I honestly, out of any other character, I would have loved to see more of him. I think I think more of the overthrowing, more of like how he planned to do better, like with Savika, even though she planned on betraying him anyways. Like, I just thought that was, I just thought it was a cool character. So there's that. Yeah,
That's fair. A character you want to see more of. I was gonna say I was like B is high for like that, but especially if it's one you're like, I feel like he had a lot more story potential.
yeah.
I see the vision.
All right, going to Imani.
Yeah. Wait, where did I? Because I talked about the detain them. So I already talked about Silco and Singed and a drug dude, drug addicted homie, and whatnot. Okay, so there's only 3 people in this category, and I gotta say, I feel like I have more to say about these motherfuckers than I do to say about the people that are in my top, because these 3 people. The category is cunt servers who have pissed me off at some point. These 3 people have infuriated me.
And 2 of them are in a relationship together.
I were, frankly, okay, for one, past tense, bitch. I no, because that's what I want to talk about. Part of what pissed me off is them being together at all. I like, okay, I get it. They're both hot. They both want to change the world. Fair enough. Since season 2, these are 2 characters. No, okay, Caitlyn I'll get to. But like, Jace and Mel were 2 characters, and Jalen will know I was a Mel hater for the longest time. I love to support Black women, okay? I love my fellow Black women.
But not Mel.
But not Mel. She's just so politically, like, when you're coming from a place of like the Undercity and Jinx and Vi. Also, let me know if my mic cuts out because I'm trying to say shit. And I need the people to hear me. But like, Jace and Mel are like the most like, cause people talk about Jace being like the golden boy, the golden boy of Piltover. Like, Mel to me always also felt like quite literally the golden girl of like Piltover. Like, these were the young people coming in to shake things up and move us in a better direction. And it was just so like, so much of their arc when Jace wasn't in the lab with Victor doing shit, I was like, you're annoying. Like, I love, and they're high up on my list because I love these characters, partially for how much they pissed me off and annoyed me in the first season. So much. Caitlyn's the complete opposite. I think I loved Caitlyn in the first season. And I think the problem with me for Caitlyn in the second season, what is like connected to her relationship with Vi, but no, it's Caitlyn overall. Like, I think Caitlyn is a very wishy-washy character. I like that these people are my third down, but I'm talking pure shit about them. Like, Caitlyn, I loved so much season 1. I liked seeing her like kind of, to me it felt like a very steady descendance into like, like kind of realizing things are more complicated coming from this like really strict, political enforcement way of like protecting people. She falls like, I mean, she falls in love with Vi, come on. That really changes her views of things. I love that like that stuff starts to get really complicated at the end of season 1 with Jinx. And I liked the dark, like, I liked the dark angle that she was turning onto, like with her, her rage controlling her, and like and Besta like sort of fueling that rage. And like, so again, up until like the end of Act 1 for season 2, I was like, yeah, like it was a gut punch to me when Caitlyn gut punched Vi. I was like, that's crazy. And like, like the animators, dude, the animators like made Vi sit in that and like look so pitiful and like begging and pleading as Caitlyn just like walked away from her. And I was so down with that path, but it was like, not, and it wasn't the assumption that Caitlyn was going to be like that forever. I figured, hey, maybe she'd turn around, there'd be some sort of conflict. But like, the scene in which Caitlyn just betrays like Ambessa and like goes the other way is just like kind of non-existent. And I know everyone loves, and we love a little gay scene. Caitlyn and Vi in the cell, and like Caitlyn stepping away, being like, "Hey, I just need to let you know while you're gone, I saw someone." And Vi being like, "Caitlyn, I don't fucking care." I don't like that. I feel like I'm thinking about it too much because I'm like, none of the relationships in this show are perfect, but like Caitlyn pissed me off so much. I was like, so you assaulted your partner, literally just like left her there. Fuck this other bitch. Sorry, Maddie, whatever. And then like took her down and like still kind of being snippy and snappy. And like, I don't know. Suddenly you guys are all good. I'm kind of blaming Vi too. I'm like, Vi, up your standards. Oh my god. Vi, up your standards. Girlie, you're desperate for love. And it shows. Fair enough. We love Caitlyn and Vi. I think at this point Caitlyn's a ride or die for Vi. But like I wanted to see, I was like, I don't want to see Caitlyn on her knees groveling a little bit. I'm just being real. I don't think Vi ever did anything wrong to like deserve how Caitlyn treated her that brief period. And it just made me mad that she didn't have the full arc of apologizing. And I like Caitlyn, and I like that she's wishy washy, but sometimes it just pisses me off. So that's bad. I love Caitlyn. I think she's so badass. The final fight with her and Mbessa, I was fucking awesome. Although I do wish, no, I think it was good that Mel was sort of kind of had the final blow. But like, I loved that fight. I think it was amazing. I love Caitlyn's like she puts everything into everything she does, and I think that's so real.
Did you see the contrast between Jinx and Vi? Yeah, Jinx and Vi fighting a monster, and Caitlyn and Mel fighting a wolf.
Oh, ooh, true.
Because a wolf has no mercy.
And it had
the
this
parallels,
thing.
Imani, is so good, so good.
I will say, like, it's kind of crazy because I'm thinking about like physically, like how much of a beating. I feel like they're fighting Mbessa. She was a woman. I feel like Mel and Caitlyn got more beat up fighting Mbessa than Jinx and Vi did like fighting Warwick. Or I guess Ascended Warwick. I don't really know if it's Warwick.
I'm doing a podcast right now.
Well, trying to join? Tier list, go.
Tier list, go.
But no, real.
Yeah.
And this is and Bess in that final scene really, again, like she's always had she has not always had my respect. But like as a warmonger, I'm like, all right, girl, you're really like, what if I killed everyone here? And I'm like, hey, that's your truth, my girlie. Hey, fair enough. Hey, eat it up. But that's my thoughts on Caitlyn. I'm sure it's different. Jason Mel again. Mel really popped. Jason Mel to me popped off in season 2, and the more they popped off in season 2, like when they were on their own journeys, and I got to see the unique makeup of them outside of the political game they sort of have to play. It felt like liberating, and I think it was liberating to them as characters too. And I had so much joy being able to see that. I think, but God, season 1, Jason Mel, I literally I hated them so much. Like I liked them as characters, but I was like, oh, I was haters. I was a hater to them, their relationship. I'll be real.
Imani was a hater of Mel. Like the first moment she spoke, like
the first time she talked, I was like, my boys are trying to break into the lab, girly. You invited yourself. Like, frankly,
it was so crazy to me. Like that Imani just had, and then the episode where they show a bit of Mel's backstory, she's like, oh, okay, so she's a little traumatized, whatever. Okay. But
after that, I was like, all right, I get it. Like once mommy Medarda showed up, I was like, all right, you got a little spice to you. Like, okay, but like legitimately though, because once mommy Medarda showed up, once Mbessa was there. Because look, Mbessa was mommy for season 1. She lost it from me. She lost it from me in season 2. But like, the fact that they were so different, I was like, okay, girly, you're trying to break the generational curse of your parents. Fair. I understand now why you're so like poised and polished and whatever. But like, this was me thirsting after Vi for the longest time. Like, of course I'm gonna look at Mel and be like, whatever. Oh, you always look good. Like, whatever. Relax. Calm down.
She do be looking good.
She do be looking good. I love her so much.
That's why Tara would look so fine in a.
Guys, we have to do the cosplay. I think we have to like just spend the money and commit. and just do all Arcane characters for
Ooh,
next year Halloween.
I would so do an Echo
I
cosplay.
know you would. You would look so good
I
in an
would
Echo one.
so do it. We need to go to Dragon Con and just commit to a full Arcane
No,
cosplay. I mean,
we
Tyra won't
really
probably join
do.
us, but you and me, we got to do it.
We have to.
Actually,
The
Tyra
way
will
I'm
probably
like,
go, but she'll go as herself. Like she'll just like, wow, this is really cool. Wow, yeah.
next to just an Echo and a. I keep thinking about who I would do. That's a conversation for later. But
all right. Next
yeah,
tier.
I want to keep ranting about them, but honestly, that's that. I said what I said, and again, Jace got a beard and he got interesting. Like Jace felt
Women only
okay,
like
not
men
for
when
the
they
first
go through
time.
emotional trauma.
I was gonna say, and you know what? It made him more interesting for it. Look, Jace murdered a man, and I was like, okay, I see the passion in your eyes. Use it. Like, keep
Okay,
going,
that's
my
my man.
guy.
I love him. I didn't even like
Oh
Salo
my god,
like that, so it's all good.
true.
Yeah, honestly, you didn't even kill anybody important, dog. You're chilling.
I was gonna say, I was watching someone like a creator I like react to like the second act, and I was waiting for like her reaction to like Jace killing Sallow, and she was like, oh no, like, oh my god, is he dead? Oh, that sucks. And I'm like, okay, fair, we didn't care. Fuck Sallow, but like, hey, Jace doing it is crazy. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's my cunt servers list. They're cunts, but they also serve it. That's what I'll say.
Whatever. So first on my A tier list, we're getting to the goats. Isha.
Not the goat.
Isha.
Isha!
Isha, I didn't cry, but I sure did, get a little choked up.
I think I might have cried.
I I remember back when I just finished the third episode, like, and I watched it, weekly. So without anyone else. So all I had for just a week were my notes, and so I was just like, okay, what significance does this little girl have? I have no idea. I literally like wrote down I have no idea. That was in my notes. I said, okay, Jinx. Okay, where do I think Jinx is gonna go? Where do I think Bai is gonna go? Isha. Or I didn't know her name. I'm just like, little girl. I don't know. And I couldn't have expected it, but dang, it was good. Arcane is one of the only shows in 18 episodes. I mean, people would hear like if you told someone, hey, watch Arcane, how many episodes is there? 18 and it's over. I don't know, bro. That doesn't sound too good. But like the way this show makes you like just quickly, like just like that, makes you care about people.
And the fact that we have this many characters to rank out of 18 episodes, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I just think like I really need to do a further analysis. I really want to. I think I want to make a video on that. Like how does Arcane like make you care about these characters? Honestly, sometimes in just like little dialogues. Like when I get to Savika, I'll talk more about that. But yeah, I love Isha. I love what she stood for. Like Jinx, kind of having a soft spot, and like people were complaining about Jinx this season because the paranoia, the schizophrenia is like gone or whatever, and they're like, oh, Forteshay, they didn't have the budget for it, and like they cut all that schizophrenia. I'm like, did you miss the entire point of Jinx finally deciding to sit in the Jinx chair? Like that is like I wouldn't say the healing, but like the end of her like schizophrenia kind of thing. Cause like before it was Powder and Jinx. Sometimes I'm Powder, sometimes I'm Jinx. I'm like I'm fighting between these two people. I don't know what to do. But in this final episode, in this final scene where she sits, she's like, I understand. I know who I am now. And there's no more confusion. Right. Yeah, like there's no more confusion. There's no more like there's no battle anymore. So like I don't know, people were complaining about that, but anyways, next is Vander.
Also, keep talking. I'm gonna move you to my kitchen so that I can stir my crock pot.
I
keep cooking, King.
Next is Vander.
Oh, yes.
Vander, I was a little confused at first because I'm like, wait, so Vander wasn't just some random dude that was punching niggas on the bridge and found these two girls and just had a change of heart. He like actually knew these girls. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like,
You're so right. I think I didn't even realize that
I was like,
you didn't know that in season one.
because that was just my head canon. I was just like, so this dude was just in his own head, just and he's like, oh my god, look at this war does to like these like just little girl, like oh wow, and he has a change of heart. I'm like, oh okay, well, fair enough,
Right?
but it makes and then like he like looks over. I didn't know he knew their mother, right? Like
Right.
because like in the first scene of the show it shows like him looking over. I thought he was just looking over at what he assumed were their dead parents, but like he's literally the godfather of these kids, which I think takes a little bit away from it.
You
uh
think so?
well, I think it just takes a little bit away from the fact that like he wasn't just, you know, a man in his own head that was you know, healed by the youth or whatever. He just kind of was just like, dang, y'all are orphans. I gotta take care of
That's
y'all now.
crazy.
Um, so, but I still
But
think
yeah,
Vander was a great character. I think he's a great father figure um for Vi, but for both of them. I think he tried his best. You know, like he tried his best to run the lanes how he could.
mhm.
Um, but yeah,
I feel like he represented like in season one, like he like I feel like season two, what he represents is a lot of like maintaining the memory of like what they once wanted Zahn to be, you know?
yeah.
Like and there are a lot of flashbacks that hint at that too and talk about it. But like season so much of season one, I mean like he represented so much of like the idealism of like breaking cycles and stuff like that. Like I just feel like I saw so much of that in Vander. And so, when he died, things just broke, you know? And
Isn't it
again, I feel like it was happening.
isn't it so interesting how like you said, he was this person who stood like as a message to break the cycle, and then when he died and turned into Warwick, he was kind of consumed by all his hatred, consumed by all that he like once stood against in this like monstrous form, where the only thing that
Hmm.
brought him peace were his daughters. Like, ugh, so good.
It, okay, because you were talking about you didn't cry with Isha died. I was like damn near sobbing
Wait,
when Vi
okay, how? Oh, when
when
Vi.
Vi hugged him.
No, okay, so when he said Powder's name at
Powder.
Powder. Okay, Imani,
Yes.
I gotta know, when was it clicking for you? When like was it clicking
Oh!
when
When
they were
as soon
fighting?
as it didn't take as long as like it didn't take as long as like him saying her name. It took like once he was like focusing on the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Like it took like a few seconds after I was like, why is he focusing on the bomb? And I was like, I realized like, oh, it's very familiar. Like, oh my god. Okay, I will say, like, I again I forget that for Vander, this like this like whimsical bright like blue and pink like designs and shit and the way that like Jinx does science in this like really fun expressive way like to that to everyone now that's like ooh fear sign of Jinx. Vander only knows it as like that's my daughter. That's
That's
the
my
fun way that my
child.
daughter.
That's so I never
That's my
thought about it that
child.
way. That's
Like
so sweet.
that's like that like I think that's why it was so emotional like realizing he's in this beautiful form and like all he remembers all he knows of he doesn't know Jinx. All he knows is Powder like oh this is like my child who like makes these like fun little things like to have that. And again, you were talking about Isha, like those two characters are bringing out, and I think that's their role this season is to like not revert back to Powder but to like to have Jinx be able to see because she's in a place where she can't see herself as a hero. She's like even when other people do, and it's like be having these intimate relationships with people that like only see her as such. Like Isha only sees her as a hero. Vander only sees her like as his daughter. Like
Mm-hmm.
people that don't judge her or know her just by the horrible things she's done, like has had such a big impact on like her this season, I think.
Yeah. Um, try not to harp too much on just one character. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Victor. Now, Victor, I don't know why.
That's my baby.
I don't know why Imani cared so much about this man in the first season. Like I liked Victor. I thought he was a great character.
I can't remember how much I even loved him in the first season because my love has only grown.
Imani, like where honestly it's kind of racist if you think about it, because the way Imani with Mel was just like ew immediately, and the moment she sees a white man, y'all, she's like, damn.
Look, I love a chronically ill boy.
Okay. But so Victor, I didn't think much of Victor at first. Like I was just like, okay, he's a good friend to Jace. Okay, like where's this going?
His name. He's a scientist.
Yeah.
He helped Jace perfect.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
But anyways, also putting Victor and Jace side by side is kind of crazy that I did that. You know.
Just, Are they gonna?
No. But so when Victor started like merging with the Hex Tech, and he went to the docks, and the first off, this was the scene that made me fall in love with Victor. When he throws the cane down and like he takes his first steps, he's like, oh my god, I'm free, dog. Yes, like that was just such a good scene.
Him running on the pier, so because you've never seen him that like physically, like because he has a lot of like opinions and emotions on things, but like he does feel like hindered by his physical like ailments, his physical space. Like that was the first time I've seen like animation wise like them animating honestly his ambition, not to be like too metaphorical with it, but like him running, like him being able to do that, like it kind of felt like a foreshadowing of like how far he wants to go and how far he wants to take this.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna talk about Mama Gimma. I'm gonna talk about Jace.
Talk about Jace.
Okay. I'm gonna talk about Jace simultaneously.
As you should. They are one now.
I liked Jace in the first episode because I have a different perspective. First off, this is just how detailed the writing is in Arcane. Echo talks about this guy in the first episode. Echo talks about this guy, and that's how he found the dudes, the lab that Vi and Jinx went to, and Clagger and Milo, where they first discovered the Hex Tech. Like Echo says he was talking to this guy and he didn't even haggle. He came into the shop, he asked for some information, and he didn't even haggle. Because that's who Jace is. Jace is not someone that like tries to squeeze his way out of a situation. Jace, when Jace wants something, he gets that thing. Like he does not care. And it's so good in that contrast to when Jace meets up with Silco and he's talking to him and he says, "Get me Jinx and I'll get you your nation of Zon." And Silco goes to the statue and he says the line again. He said, "The boy didn't even haggle." And I'm like, he said, "All I ever wanted," and the boy didn't even haggle. And I'm like, that's so good. Like Jace just continues to be this character that just wants what he wants. He doesn't shake, he doesn't bend, he doesn't break. That man will get what he wants, and I just love that about his character. So I like Jace in the first episode or first season. Um, Jason the second season was kind of absent. Um, he was kind of a secondary character, which was a little weird. Like he was kind of, but also not. I don't know. It was like
Hmm. I can't. No, I wouldn't. I mean, he didn't really. He to me, he and Echo played a very similar role this season
they played very secondary roles, but they were still
with
like
like huge impact though at the end.
yeah,
Like huge, like literally the only people there at the end.
yeah. I just think
Okay, so
that
you're opposite of me though. So you're like season 1 Jace, that's my boy. Season 2
season
Jace.
2 Jace was just like not really there. I'm like when he was, I'm like, okay, my boy, that's you. I mean, I liked him.
Okay, my
I'm
boy.
just like, I don't know. But there was some complaints, Imani, and I'm sure you've seen them, of people complaining that Arcane is gay, Imani, which I don't
What?
like.
Wait,
They were
when?
like that final scene with Victor and Jace where they have their heads against each other. They're like and they think that when Jace says I just want my partner back, it's got to be a love partner. It's got to be. It's got to be. They're gay. We knew it the whole time. I knew it. I knew. There's no way Jace wanted a black woman. There's no way that man was gay the whole time. I knew it. Like
crazy. Which this is not a show in which sexuality is even like a conversation. It doesn't need to be.
Sexuality in this show is so good. Like it's just like I see the little things like Silco wearing makeup, Jace.
People have talked about that.
Jace like laying his head in Mel's lap, like just Jace's vulnerability. Like men are not afraid to like be vulnerable in front of the women in their life, and like it's just, you just don't see that. You just don't see that. Not just talk about in writing or shows or movies or whatever. I'm just talking about in life. Like you just don't see that.
No, literally, I feel like it's like inspirational in terms of like writing from a writing standpoint of like not having, because I think a thing for me that I again admire is like this, like, well, in terms of like labels, like there are the labels that are gonna matter in your show, and then there are the ones that aren't, and I feel like this is a thing where it's just like they knew the labels in terms of like sexuality or like anything related to that just weren't important for the plot, and like you could tell a good story with like a lot of good connection with people like by just letting it flow. I feel like a lot of the show feels like just letting the relationships flow as like feels natural and like compelling.
Yeah. I think that like I don't know why people are think like you just say a certain word like I just want my partner back and they think gay immediately. And I'm not just talking about the people who took it the wrong way. I'm talking about the people who took it to mean that they were in a relationship. Like girlies were going girlies were going crazy on Twitter just being like so does this mean that like they were gay the whole time? Or and even the writer, even one of the creators came out and said like
Oh yeah, he was like the relationship is is like I think he was like, do they have love for each other? Like absolutely, but I don't think it's romantic.
like not a romantic love, like just
But
because
I keep going. I was gonna say I will say something about how you phrase that though.
it's like just because you say you love someone, like that doesn't mean like it doesn't have to be romantically. Like it doesn't have to like I don't know. There's this great scene in Game of Thrones where I'm just gonna say the bigger brother kisses his little brother like on the forehead. Like they're not gonna see each other.
It's like you're gonna say on the lips. I was
no,
like, okay.
no, like they're not gonna see each other for a long time, And he's like, I love you, brother. And he's like, like he kisses him on the forehead, like he's like hugs him, like that kind of stuff. I like that, like. And people would see that and they'd think like, that's weird. I'd never kiss my brother. I'd never kiss him or anything like that. Like that's weird. Like, I don't know, man. Like
Jinx and Vi hug or something, and it's like, so like, are they like together now? Like is
this like incest, bro? Like I knew this show was weird, bro, the whole time.
Can I make a slight? Can I make a? Can I rebound on that? I know it's your
Yep.
tier and you're not done, but I think because I want to say coming from it from like a queer perspective, it the problem and it's something that I'm like Arcane teeters on for me a little bit, like of like also being culpable for, but like part of I think why some people it's not always I don't think it should be this way, but like part of why some people really ride for like especially like male relationships and shows that aren't like explicitly romantic but seem to be higher than just platonic or just seem to be more intimate than like that, like the romantic fan base and people like really pushing for that and like rallying behind that, to me like it part of it is from a place of like absolutely stupid ass dog shit straight fucking relationships being put into shows and media and movies that suck. But it's like, well, man, woman, we wanted a male character and a female lead, so they kind of have to have sex and like be in a
Is
relationship.
this how you
And
feel about Mel and Jace?
it is, I'm sorry. And not I love them individually. And again, season 2 when they both came back into that space, I felt more connection between them and more like togetherness and like love and like partnership in that scene when they had both spent time apart and had their own arcs than when they were together.
So
Again, I think
like,
the problem was like they developed so much together on this same path, like almost right off the bat, and I don't know. I needed to see them apart. But that I think similar with Jason Victor. Like I really liked their arc in season 2, and it was one of those things where I kind of felt like, and again, I don't feel this completely. It's been a while since I've seen season 1, but it is like it feels like the metaphor of like Mel and Jace fucking like literally spliced with, because it was in the show is spliced with like Victor like touching or like sharing his blood with like the hex tech
mhm.
for the first time. And I'm like, him losing, and that was when he lost what's her
Sky.
name? Sky. And like it's just one of those things where it's like there's clearly so much seeing season 2, I'm like, there's so much like deep like like multi-universe like existential connection between Jason and Victor, like literally. And it's like, and we were fucking around in season 1 with like Jason and Mel were fucking, which is like that's fine, but it felt so like so half of the relationship felt political to me, which it kind of was. And that's fine. It's just sort of like I would have liked to see a little bit I don't have to rally behind that with that sort of given. But that being said, I absolutely agree with you. I think like I feel like nowadays more in media we're getting to explore and we're having more fun being able to just express and show complicated relationships that are not inherently romantic. And again, I think I was gonna say that's me talking as a queer person with like gay relationships and film and whatever. But as like an asexual person, I love it. I love being able to see things that aren't inherently romantic, which like that's what it's like. I'm not necessarily aromantic, but like I love being able to see things that aren't inherently sexual, aren't inherently romantic. I like being able to explore those relationships too, but I like the idea that we can dive deep into a pairing without it seeming like the inevitable road is them ending up in a romantic relationship. Like that can just be developed. And again, I think Mel and Jace's relationship developed a lot more this season out of like more a more natural place without the barrier I think of like like political obligation and like to me what feels like some like straight success obligation too. Like it I love what the relationship represents in season 1, but I don't even know if it was meant to represent that. Like in my head I'm like I feel like it was kind of doomed to like not like I don't think they're together. Or I like to me when they get back together, I don't think they're in a romantic relationship anymore. And I feel like that's good and I feel like their relationship has blossomed because of that a little bit. That's my opinion. I don't
Um, I can agree with the fact that there's a lot of, I mean, sometimes forced like straight relationships. There seems to be this idea that there's a man and there's a woman, okay,
know. And as
guys,
God intended.
and as God intended. And so guys, listen, it's gonna happen. They have to kiss it, and it's like sometimes I could be reading a book and I'm like, oh, I just didn't see a romantic thing. That I just saw more of like a friendship. Like, no, they're together now and they have to be because man and woman. And I'm like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, sure. I mean, I guess
Alright,
like
I'll be along for the ride. And then they like are toxic for each other, and it's like, well, we
exactly
okay.
like all right, guys, go ahead and hit it with my book talk of the day because I'm going to talk about Akatar and how
Whoa!
I'm
Oh,
going to
here
talk
we
about A Court of
go.
Thorns and Roses and how Farah and Tamlin, stupid name, but it's based off of some folktale. Um,
Isn't Jace's last name Tamlin? Or is it Talon or something? It's something very
Talus,
similar.
Jace Talus.
Talus.
Um, yeah. So I think that it's one of those other forced relationships. Like Tamlin and Farah getting together is so it just feels not very like seated in anything, but like you're attractive, I'm attractive. You're a woman and I am a man. And so I mean we have to do this. It's the only way.
Okay.
Like and I mean I guess the second book touches on that their relationship is very toxic. But Imani, there's this one scene that I'll never get over that I swear is just like it's just dumb on both their parts. Imani, they are literally like in the villain's fortress,
Wow.
and Farah was just able to barely like escape. Like she was just able to like get out so that like she and Tamlin could talk for like limited time. Now, what do you think they do in this time, Imani? Do you think they
Talk?
quickly like see if there's any like scars or scratches on them? Do you think they quickly give them any information that they might need, anything that might help them to escape? Do you think they do any of that?
I would hope so.
You would hope so. No, Imani, what they do is they immediately start making out and try to have sex. And I'm like, what are you doing? You are literally surrounded by your enemies. Why would you I don't understand. I really don't. Like and Tyra was just like, well, like I'm like, no, because if we were trapped somewhere, I would not be making out with Tyra. I'd be like, first I'd be like, oh my god, are you okay? Are you hurt? Like, okay, and then I'd be like, listen. At every day at 12 o'clock, they do their routine where they're walking around. That's a good moment where you can sneak out, like something like that. You know what I mean? Like you would give
Right.
any information. Like I'm just like I think the author is horny too. Like there's like this these books just
Has
consist
to
of
be.
this book just consists of horny characters that think of nothing but their horniness. I'm just like there's no way any sensible person, no reasonable person would be trying to do this right now instead of trying to plan an escape. Like y'all are such idiots. Like y'all are actually pissing me off. So
That's that's pretty crazy.
so I can agree that there's a lot of forced relationships and forced like just just everything. Forced kissing, forced like just for the sake of like I'm a man and you're a woman and this is how it has to be. Like that's why I think that's why most romance novels don't do it for me. Like Tyra always likes to say that I want my characters to fight for it, but like yeah, kinda.
Do a little bit.
Like I would like to have characters that like they don't just look at someone and they're like, huh, they're a very attractive person. Because not to mention the fact that Farah during the whole first book and the second book, everyone the author can't describe a man without calling them attractive. Like, there's no like.
Oh, I hate that. I
Don't you hate
do.
that? Like, there's one character, one character, and that's Lucian. That's the only one that at least in the first book. I'm not gonna reread the second book to figure out. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of characters where she's just like, and he was an attractive man with, luscious black hair, blonde hair, brown hair, and I'm just like, bro, everyone's just hot in this dang place.
I get that same thing with old books where it's like male main characters, and it's like for some reason they have to describe the breasts of every woman that they encounter, regardless if there's any like romantic like attachment there. It's just like, and her face looked like this with two small round breasts that were slightly perky, and I'm like, I didn't ask. I feel like I could have lived the whole book without knowing the shape of her breasts, but okay. I guess that was important to let us know.
It also doesn't do anything for the reader to describe a character as attractive. It literally does nothing. Like if you were to sit here and tell me like about someone I've never met, and you're like, oh yeah, they're very attractive. I'm like, okay, but by your standard, not like my standard. Like,
yeah,
like
I was gonna say like it
too.
doesn't tell you any like. I mean, I guess it allows you to fill in the gaps yourself, but they usually then follow it up with some basic description of like general hotness. That's like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like
Okay. Rework it back. Rework it back to Arcane.
Rework it back. Basically, what I'm saying is, I like Jason Mel's conversation or relationship. So, Caitlyn, I arguably loved Caitlyn and could potentially move her to S, but I won't because I didn't like her that much.
Caitlyn? Okay.
I loved Caitlyn, especially, and my only gripe, I think the only reason I'm not gonna put her at S is because they didn't like emphasize it enough. When Caitlyn started like Vi even brought attention to it. She's like, "Why are you acting like Jinx yourself?" That's when I was like, "Yeah, she's tuning into that rage. Like you can finally understand where it comes from." But like, it doesn't really circle back because for the rest of the show, after the first 3 episodes of season 2, Caitlyn and then Jinx don't really interact with each other except one time, in episode 6 where Caitlyn's like, "What the hell? I didn't know your sister was here." And then, all hell breaks loose. So, I mean, there wasn't much there.
She talks to her in the cell.
Oh, she does. Because Jinx apologizes. You're right. But I'm saying like after that fight, they don't really interact until like pretty much the end of the show. And so I just wish they emphasized Caitlyn's insanity more.
I think that's I feel like there's a lot of potential with Caitlyn. And I think she took a lot of actions. You know what? I think that's part of my problem. She took a lot of actions. Like she really did a lot this season, but like some of them were off screen. Like even when right before like Caitlyn and Vi in like the cell, she's kind of like, who do you think like, switched out who do you think made it so she could escape, And I was like, that was a pretty big action, but it was off screen and it's like reduced to like a line, and it's like, I would have liked to kind of maybe see that, and same with
I don't know how you could see that. That specific scene, I don't know how you could see that, but I know what you're getting at.
Like, yeah, like it is. I guess it felt really monumental, but it felt like a really big like step for her, and I feel like it just moved. I think the problem was that it moved so quickly to the sex scene that I was immediately distracted. Just like, oh my god, do you want my sister out? Oh, of you. Fair.
It doesn't matter anyways.
But that and the like, I think that's the thing. Maybe that's my problem to bear. Caitlyn did a lot of plotting and planning, even in the very last. Like we're still seeing her plot and plan, and I think like that's been a lot of her character. And I think I can appreciate. And again, Caitlyn's really high for me. I think I can super appreciate how much like she's become like a really big like a leader in that way to be able to like really. She does a lot of plotting. I think in season 2. that like pays off a lot. And I think that's been a really big development of her character, of her like developing into like a leadership role, is her ability to like take plans and make them into action.
Hmm. I can agree with that. I think I
I
don't
feel like
know.
that's the opposite of what you wanted to happen to her character. I feel like you're like, I'm trying to see her go ape shit.
Yeah, I just like I no, I mean I just wanted more from it. Like Vi kind of addressed it, and then Caitlyn was just like hit her with a gun. Like, you're dumb. No, you're stupid. You're wrong.
You're stupid
Um,
and you're wrong, and I'm gonna go sleep with someone else.
yeah, and like that was that. But at the same time, it was like we didn't see. I can agree that we didn't see most of Caitlyn's like turnaround. Like it was just okay, and now I'm with a new woman, and now I'm talking to Mbessa, and now I'm training with Mbessa. Oh wait, buys back. Suddenly I'm betraying everyone, and it was always in the cards, man. I was always thinking about, because I love Vi, and I like that. Like Vi. I did like that scene where Vi was like, "You just don't know Caitlyn," and Mbessa's like, "What? You fool! Dang it! I was a fool," and I'm just like, I kind of feel like it wasn't earned
Like,
slightly. I'm like, yeah, like Caitlyn really did care about Vi, so I can see that, but I just
I
don't see her coming to this conclusion so quickly.
I think the most like being having Mbessa as your mentor, and oh, I every time she was like, "Come, child," like I was like, I felt that shit. But I feel like like the most diabolical thing I think Caitlyn has done this season was like really like gonna take the shot at Jinx, even when like Isha was in the way. Like that felt like the most diabolical thing, because even when she was, chief leader or whatever, with Mbessa, like she didn't actively do anything that
She really
crazy.
didn't. I was like,
She really
oh,
didn't.
so like here's the thing. Here's how I would have probably rewritten it. I probably would have had Caitlyn working with Mbessa probably until the last episode. Just cause like I feel like a fight between Caitlyn and Vi changing her then would make more sense. Or again, maybe just, more episodes, longer season, so that we could have more of that turnaround. I just feel like it wasn't earned. Like she's like, and now she's the general of the army, and it's like, okay, wow, she's gonna be like one of the villains, because like she's going after Jinx, and then
I
like
was gonna
she doesn't,
absolutely.
and then like,
Yeah, it's like her. She sees Vi one time. Vi explains the situation. She's like, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, never mind."
oh well, I'm just gonna
Oh,
everything
shit,
I
well,
was
yeah, I'm gonna, pay.
this everything I
Again,
was doing, I'm just gonna go ahead and betray her.
she's. Oh, you know what? I think could have like really saved Caitlyn more for me this season if she had been, because Jace was the one leading the last meeting of like, "Hey guys, this is serious." It should have been more Caitlyn, and Caitlyn was like Caitlyn was leading her team, but I feel like again Caitlyn's a planner. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that scene, but like right before it like goes immediately into the action, which gorgeous.
I
Like at
love
first I
that.
thought
A lot
I
of I was waiting for the whole slow. I'm like, oh no, we ain't got a lot of time, man. I was waiting for the whole slow, like
immediate
the ship
by
slay,
carrying
yeah,
dodging bullets, bro.
the ship sailing in, and like they're waiting,
So good.
the birds flying over as like you're waiting for like the battle to start.
The
Like, no,
sound, the
we're going,
woo,
ooh,
yeah.
like all that stuff. Like they're coming. Three,
I
2, 1, fire! Like none of that. Like it's just straight into the action. I love that.
Straight. My fucking favorite thing. But like, yeah, I was gonna say, like, Caitlyn again has been really in her plan. Like, she needed to just be the leader from the get go. Like, Mbessa was stifling her, and like that was part of the point, But it's like Caitlyn to me, that's a really good point of her character, and like it really could have been the thing in like that last, like she could have been the one commanding the room. I feel like, with Jace at least, because she has the skills for it.
Yeah.
But we love Caitlyn, we do.
But last one is
But also fuck her.
Mel.
Melly
Vibe.
Mel.
Mel. I mean, one, you just don't see a lot of black women Sorry, in animation, you just don't see a lot of black women in power, and
That's
just
fair.
that in itself. And she is gorgeous, bro. My God,
Oh, wait,
Mel.
just say that again. Just I just want to make a video for Tyra.
Mel is gorgeous, and I told Tyra that she should do a cosplay of Mel because Tyra is also gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Like, it's funny when me and Tyra started dating. Like, I actually just told Tyra this recently, and like she said she never caught on to it. Imani, I kept saying, yeah, Mel is gorgeous. Oh, she's so good looking. Like as we were watching, as I was introducing her to the show, and then like I'd tell Tyra, oh yeah, you should do a Mel cosplay. I think it would really suit you. Tyra just never caught on to
to the compliment of that.
to what I was trying to say. I'm trying to say you're gorgeous, Tyra. Hello, like she just never not catching on to that.
That feels like the nerdy way of flirting, of being like,
It
yeah,
does.
I love this character. You would look really good if you dressed up like them.
No, it's
I
like
think.
it's like yeah, Mel's really gorgeous. You would do well in a cosplay.
You're silly.
Tyra, you would do well in a Mel cosplay. Just
You as a person and a Mel cosplay would fit perfectly together. Just a reminder,
because
I
Mel
think
is
Mel is
gorgeous.
attractive.
What I'm trying to say is Mel is gorgeous, and I would date her, and you would
And
look
you
great.
should look like, you should dress up to look like
you
her.
should dress like her. I'm saying you're gorgeous, Tyra. Hello, okay, come on. No, but yeah, like not just like that. Also, that wins points for me. Like Mel is just a very attractive, very very beautiful, very women in power. Love all that.
Ascension level, like she really hits her like god. She has a little god tier.
Mm-hmm.
Tyra showed me this beautiful fan art of Mel, and it's like,
ooh, I gotta see it. Gotta see it.
I will. I'll send it to you. I think she might have showed you. I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah. I think Mel is just an interesting character. The way she carries herself, the way she, I don't know. Like I would have loved to know more of how she rose to power, and that's kind of the only reason why she's not in S tier for me. Like I want to know, like she's just, like you said, that she's this young counselor that kind of, is the next generation of counselors. She's like the beginning of it, but at the same time, we don't know her. Like I don't know her qualifications. Like all I know is something. She ran from her mother and became a counselor. Like I don't know what happened.
Yeah, how did she get that much? Maybe that's why it's been hard for me, because like I subsumed her so much as like anyone that was like a counselor at the get-go, because Jace like became a counselor. He had that arc. Like I think it's because Mel was a counselor at the get-go. Again, it's like you said, sometimes you just like to see your character struggle, and I was like, I wanted to, yeah, like what was her struggle? How did she get, like I knew her struggle with her family, but like she commands a room in the sense that she has power, and I feel like I was like not actually, but I'm like walking into a room assuming that you have more power than everyone else. Very white thing to do. Love that it's coming from a black woman, but like it still sent the same message of like, and you are like, but she said, I am who I am, period. Fair enough, Mel. Like fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that Mel, I would have loved to know more about her. I think Mel, like she kind of just continues to get what she wants, in the sense that there's not much struggle for Mel, even in season 2, where like she gets kidnapped, and then she's like, oh my god, my brother, and they're like, wait a minute, you're not my brother. Ooh, I'm no fool. And then it's just like, Mel, you have power, and I'm like, oh wow, I do have power, don't I figured it out immediately. I'm just like, okay. I'm like, I don't understand. I'm like, I don't know. It's weird to me. I'm not saying it's giving Mary Sue. I feel like it's giving more just, you skipped a lot of information. Like you just skipped a lot of training for Mel.
She didn't have to take the SAT. She immediately got into Harvard.
Exactly. I mean, she was just like, hey Mel, you're a witch, and Mel's just like, cool. I already knew that. So, anyways, watch me deflect this bullet. Um,
Oh, but God, I never wasn't. That was probably the most attractive I ever was to Mel. Was that fucking reveal, and that's because it was married with killing a witch, a real witch, and that was Maddie. You know, and then she takes her place. So that's just wonderful.
yeah, I think I definitely don't. I definitely knew that Mel's arc would end where it is, like her sailing back to Noxus. Um, like I definitely and taking her mother's place. Like I definitely saw that coming. I definitely didn't expect Mel to be a witch or whatever they call them in this universe. Um,
I think Ambessa. I feel like she says it like derogatory. That might just be witches, but she's like witch. I'm like, whoa.
witch. Yeah, but yeah,
I
that's
it
my A
makes
tier.
I will say though, I think Mel suits Witch. Again, like I said, season 2 Mel I liked I was fucking with a lot more cuz I think it her natural ability to command a room and her natural sense of like poise and power matches with like a very powerful witch, you know? Like and I'm okay with that being the case, but it was like I sometimes you need something in the universe to confirm something about a character. Like it's like, oh, Mel is just has that sort of commanding energy, and it's like, well, she can't just have that on her own. Like there seems like it feels like there needs to be something else in the universe that corroborates that idea. And I feel like her being a witch, like to the power that she has, like she's clearly a very powerful, like natural witch.
Yeah,
Like for all that she's able to do that makes like that to me is like the universe connecting who she already has proven herself to be. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I can settle into like her being unwavering about like in that way. I think she's a very unwavering character. Caitlyn and Mel I feel like are opposites in that way. Caitlyn I feel like teeters back and forth between a lot of different emotions and motivations and stuff like that. I think Mel has always been like really headstrong. She is about her fucking business, and I think her coming into her power is only gonna like further have her take control of her destiny in that way. So I wish her the best.
I think one thing I want to say about Mel is just that
I just realized you have Mbessa and S. Sorry. Okay,
yeah,
mommy.
yeah, goaded. Um,
Okay.
Mel, I don't know, man. I just like that last episode with Mel. It left me more confused than anything, and I'm like, are we rushing, or are you guys just counting on these other shows to like give more information to what's going on? Because like I have so many questions, man. Is
Mm.
Mel? Does Mel care to know where Jace is she just like, he's dead? I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm going home. Like, what's happening? Like, and what did Mel mean by "I see your face, deceiver"? What like was she? I know she made a deal with the Black Rose to trap Ambessa, and I'm assuming is she she knew that the Black Rose wanted Ambessa for more than just like killing her. Like they wanted information from her. That's why she was like peering into her brain instead of just killing her right out.
Oh, I thought it was
Um,
torture.
I'm sorry,
Probably is.
but I've watched that scene so many times. Her grabbing the necklace and the transition of Ambessa standing like this to her in chains in the face of LeBlanc, I guess, of that witch. Literally the coldest, one of the coldest shots in Arcane.
It's
Imani.
really good.
It's so good. Just the oh, that's so good, so good. But yeah, like Mel just like kind of walking into the domain expansion and being like, "I see your face, deceiver." And I'm just like, "What?" And then LeBlanc's like, "What?" And I'm like, "What?" And then everything goes,
Yeah?
goes like light, because like she uses her power and goes, ah! And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, okay, and Bess is just like, "You are the wolf," and I'm like, wow, she acknowledged him. But again, what is happening? And the scene's over. I'm like, oh, uh, all right, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I've always, and I fully get that. Like, we, she hasn't. I would love to see like a witch training montage a little bit from like Mel, you know? I think it'd be kind of cool to see her develop. I think that's the thing. She just again, like she just kind of goes into things and like the only part of her of us seeing it is just her on top. Like she's already a council member. You know, she's already a really powerful fucking witch. It's like she's already just like on top of whatever new
Yeah, that's
like
the thing.
thing she's
She
getting into.
Mel went from I don't know how the heck I was able to save you, but it was something to do with my emotions, to hey, you're a witch, to okay, now I know exactly what I'm doing and I can, without seeing Caitlyn, block a bullet and ricochet it. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just a little weird to me personally.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that part was rushed because I feel like there's a universe where she could have come back with all this skill, but I feel like it would have been like she needed to be away for longer, and we needed to see more of her coming into it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you can't. She came back what episode 8, 9, or like no,
Well,
she
yeah,
came back what,
yeah. She came back episode 8 because episode 7 was just Echo and Jace.
right. Yeah, and like that's just not enough time. Like if she like you want her to fuck up because it is a better plot, but it's like it's not enough time for her to fuck up and fix it, you
Like,
know, and like grow.
and I'm not saying Mel knew exactly what she like. She was still struggling. Like she wasn't like that's why I don't think she was a Mary Sue. Like she wasn't just like I am better than everybody in this room and I'm just killing it. Like she was still struggling to fight the one robot that was in the council room and she was
I meant to tell you about say something about that, but
what?
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
she was struggling to fight Mbessa. Like she
yeah.
wasn't crazy like good with it yet. Like, but I don't know. I still think that someone who just learned that they have this power, kind of steep. It's kind of steep, you know.
Hey, they said black women are actually magical, and they can do anything. So that is what Mel is.
Ooh, a black girl magic shirt with Mel on it.
Oh shit! That's sick.
Kind of fire. I ain't even gonna
By
lie.
by the rights.
Hey, Arcane. Hey.
But I was
pay
gonna.
me for
I
that
forgot.
idea.
I think I didn't say this because you're talking about the robot guy that was like Victor was talking through him, you know,
Yeah.
in that scene. Which love that scene by the way. But because you were saying a home dude that was addicted to Shimmer and then like kind of was like the gatekeeper of the commune, like Victor's commune and stuff. Like, he was like, like kind of a whatever character. I watched a little short about him and they were like, bro, this dude's arc is insane. Because you think that his end is um like, you know, at the gates, you know, after Victor, you know, his physical body dies, you know, their bodies like whatever. But actually, the robot that goes to visit Jace and Mel is him.
Yeah.
Or it's his like body. I will say quite a glow up. Quite a glow up. He was like wow, I'm the divine tool of a god. Not these sirens. Do you hear these sirens?
Yeah, sure do.
Love where I live. They're only getting louder. They're only getting louder.
You just hear a knock at your door.
I wanted to say that because I was like, you know, I see some of his. I don't know. It's fun to see a character come back in different. To me, he just kept coming back in different shapes and colors, and I was like, "Fuck it, yeah, reuse the character. You know, why not?"
Also, I like how all right, so they killed that robot, and then they were like, you see this? We were struggling to kill one of them. All right, there's hundreds of them on the way, and I'm like, and when they showed up, Imani, literally not a single person, not a single person took care of one of them, Imani. Imani, hang on. Imani, that scene of when they open the orb and they're all just like, and then they just suddenly like it's so.
I have to give it to Victor. That I have to give it to Victor. He homeboy would have won. Quite immediate. He would have won.
Like those were honestly wish the whole. I honestly wish there were more of them. Like somehow that army would rise again. Literally an army that fast, Imani. Like they were so creepy.
I was gonna say they should have done that.
I thought that was a cool, different take on zombies.
You're right. Oh my god, you're right. Yeah,
Like
no.
the way they were
That's
just
literally what
like
they are.
the way like the creepy way
They're
they
so fucking
they just
scary.
like stand like mannequins and then suddenly
And
just
then
like
so
so
fucking
good,
creepy.
so good.
I
Yeah, not a
really, really
single
love
character
them.
took care of one of them, Iman. They're like
Like
these
they got immediately washed.
immediately.
They
Like
definitely should have. I wish there were more, but like I understood the problem with having more was the implication that like they were like that like Victor had turned like a bunch of people, but it kind of could have been a cool like if they all reverted back after like Victor and Jace were gone, that could have been a cool thing because it could have been like the implication that like, hey, maybe he turned the entire fucking Undercity and it's just built over now, like because that would have been crazy.
hmm. Yeah. But I think so okay, so the moment for me when I knew that everyone who was getting sucked up wasn't gonna die, I was like, Savika, no. And then I started seeing other people, and then I started seeing Caitlyn. I'm like, wait,
No
Mel. I'm
way.
like, wait, no. And then Jinx and Vi, I'm like,
Yeah, well, when it hit Jinx and Vi, I was like, okay, so this isn't like permanent,
yeah, I'm like,
right?
this isn't permanent. Like they can get their eyes sucked up or whatever, but they'll be alright in a little bit. All
I
right.
can't wait until we talk about a specific bad bitch
So
because
it is
you're the
time,
bad bitch.
guys, for the S tier. Let's do
All
it,
right.
Imani.
Yeah, I would say I have my
Oops.
like top, but all of these people are top for me. Definitely top.
Oh,
Are we
yeah.
back to
Oh,
me?
I forgot you had. Oh, okay. I don't.
Yeah, I'll just do that one and then I want you to do your S and then I
I
can
forgot we
I'll
didn't
cuz
do
my
your B
our
yet,
we have similar
or your
tops.
A yet.
What? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, technically it's my A. You know what I mean. It's technically S. I was just trying to make it rhyme. Okay, this is the bad bitches. This is like certified like I mean, they're just great characters. The ones above those are just people that like I am particularly so endeared with. But like I'm actually surprised that I have these people this high. Vanda and Heimerdinger are up here, which I feel like they're characters that are so like I don't even know how to describe it. They feel so impact oh no, that's it. They feel so loving. Like they radiate a light of warmth in this dark show that's like irreplaceable. Like Vander shows so much like deep sense of like even in his violence, like there's such a deep sense of like he feels like the grounding point of like what love and affection still looks like in this world when so many of the characters have like thrown it away for other
Mm-hmm.
things. Like he represents that so much that it's like I couldn't have him any lower. Like he and like has such a big role in that. Heimerdinger I think is very similar, like in a definitely a different way, but it's like anytime a character needs him, he's there. Even if he's saying stuff that you don't agree with, he did piss me off in season one. You
No,
know, like
okay.
just take your time,
I like
bitch.
so Heimerdinger. He's like his arc is so interesting because the way he like made Echo is still funny to me. Like so Heimerdinger, he went to the Undercity and he realized none of them fools liked him. So he was like, well, I tried to help him, but
They don't have
I
like
don't
clean
know.
water.
He's like,
He's like,
I don't know. He's like, oh yeah, y'all are struggling down here. Dang, I'm gonna go back over here. And then he meets Echo, and he's just like, how the heck did you make this cool contraption in your short lifespan? Ain't you what are you like 6 years old? He's like, Echo's like, I'm 18 years old. What are you talking about, bro?
crazy.
And I made that because it was literally my only choice. Um,
Dinger has never known struggle.
like, and I made that because I literally didn't have a choice. He's like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't really understand why you made these like this way. Like, shouldn't they be
Anyway,
straight so that you can like line? Like, you just don't get it, bro. Like,
crazy. I was like, well, after 57 years, when I finally came back to this project, I realized, oh, like this configuration works better. You didn't realize that
you
in
didn't
your
spend
short
57
lifetime, boy?
years and
Oh man.
57 years. Like, how did you? What are you like 6? Like, how did you make this in such a short time?
What are you, 3? I
Like,
don't
I don't
understand.
understand. Yeah.
Literally, I love,
So
like, I
Heimerdinger's
think
like final line is so in like I just loved it so much. He was like, you know, I feel like with you, I truly lived. And I'm like, oh, that's why I think his
I
death is
forgot.
so anticlimactic that I'm like, he's not dead. He's not dead.
That's right, and I think like that's the thing. It's like he always kind of like had not a blasé view of life, but like he really always was like so joyous. I feel like in this way, and like always had a lot of, I don't know, love. Like again, I think these are two characters that just like radiate so much like love and care for the people around them that like anytime they're in a scene, even if it's sad, it's like with an air of like compassion. I feel like especially one on one. That's why Heimerdinger. I was like, bitch, you are not meant to be a counselor. Like whenever he has his like mean little eyebrows, I'm like, you don't mean it, little guy. He just wants to play his little ukulele, sing his
I've
songs.
seen what magic has done.
You must
Yeah,
destroy it.
you must
No,
destroy
but
it, Jace.
truly, like I think I saw the real Heimerdinger. Like Heimerdinger is not meant for this politics
I don't know.
shit.
Heimerdinger's saying him saying you got to work more on this, like maybe 10 or 20 years, and then simultaneously not helping them, is just funny to me. He's just like, listen, man.
What does he do? What does he even do all day? What excuse
He's
does
like,
he
listen.
have?
He walks in. He's like, yeah, no, sorry, it just shouldn't be.
Doesn't work. Sorry,
Anyways,
I have a date with my wife later
anyways,
today, so I can't really help.
I gotta go sing this ukulele song I just came up with. I just finished writing it. Actually, it's gonna
That's
be good. So
but like legitimately, like I think I saw the true. I feel like I saw the real Heimerdinger, like the life he'd rather be living in that alternate universe, like him just making money, like because
I like how he
genuinely think
lived there
about
a
it.
1,000 years. He lived there 1,000 years, Imani, or 1,000 days, and it was just like, yeah, I've
He's
just
like, I'm
been
just
living
vibing,
here. And then Echo
bro. I've
finally
been
comes
waiting for
back.
you, bro.
He's like, yeah, I was waiting on you. All right, I've been waiting to die, dog. Been waiting for
Again,
you.
literally so funny. Echo goes on his, the date to the dance with Jinx. Comes back. He's made a phenomenal amount of progress in a
That's
short
what
amount
I'm
of time. I'm like,
saying.
hold on to patience, bitch.
I'm like, what do you mean, dog? You're telling me you could have helped Jason Victor this
The
entire
whole
time?
time, bro. And that makes me like. I think that the way I could sum it up is: do you know any other character in this show, like a significant character that, like, if they were in an alternate universe, would choose to like forego all the things and all the things they cared about and worked on in the previous universe to just do whatever? I feel like Heimerdinger is like the only one.
Yeah.
Everyone else would like be fighting for a cause or like still like like doing like their shit. Like I've not seen Heimerdinger do science once. I think he's fake. I don't think he's a real scientist.
Like, have you seen the Arcane, bro? I don't even believe it anymore. Like,
Hello, no, really. But no, I sum up those characters, which again, like I feel like we sort of both were like throwing people into categories. Like I didn't really think too hard about like, oh, what would I say about why would I defend this? But I think that sums it up for me. Like why they're there with like those other like fucking bad bitches. Because I feel
mm-hmm.
like they have such an irreplaceable role in the show of like a very big foil of like, hey, remember what like joy feels like? And like laughing, let's get back to that.
Everybody else has been like traumatized, and Heimerdinger's just like, yeah, just let
Just
the gears
watch
turn,
the
dog.
wheels turn.
Just let the gears turn,
Really.
y'all. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Just death
Whatever.
and destruction. He's like, it's fine. Truly. That being said, moving on. Savika. To me, Savika. I think Savika is my Mel in a little bit, like in terms of you, because I'm just like she comes
But
on
I also like
screen.
Savika. Love
True,
her.
true, true. But I mean, in the sense where I'm just like, I will say a part of her ranking is the fact that I find her so damn attractive. I like Savika. Oh man, I love all the strong like women in these shows, and Savika just has such a commanding fucking presence. Like even in her foil to Jinx in season 1, like I
I want to talk more
I
about that. Yeah.
I was gonna say but I love their blooming like relationship. I don't know, man. I can't even like fully explain it, and I also feel like I don't need to linger on it too long because we got some big hitters coming up anyway. I just think Savika was just such a like very grounded character that like again held a lot of compassion but also a lot of anger. And we don't even really know much about her backstory other than she cares for these fucking people. And I feel like, Silco had one foot in, one foot out. Like he had a lot of complicated emotions and attachments to different people, like throughout like Zon, and I kind of feel like the purest leader in terms of like the people that like fighting for their people alone, period. That's like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like, I don't care about the higher politics of it. That's why I'm here, is Savika. And I value that's her through and through the whole time. Like, she has loyalties, but like her focus is literally what is best for the people around us. Like, she has such a strong conviction about that. And she's fucking hot, and she fights like a beast, and I love her. And I kind of
Um,
wish that she would pick me up.
I think um Savika's been one of those hidden characters that you just love for some reason and you can't figure out why. Savika, so
Yes.
so Savika comes to power and becomes you. Do you remember how Savika becomes Silco's right
I
hand
actually
man?
don't.
So
Actually really
during
don't.
the explosion that powder sets off, Savika pushes Silco away from the explosion, and that's how she loses her arm because the arm like vanishes in the explosion. So that's how she loses the arm.
Oh
And
shit.
and when Silco comes around and picks up powder, you can see one of the characters behind like holding Savika who's like in pain. Like they're carrying Savika. And so that's how she became Silco's right hand man. And then
So
let's
self-sacrificing. Ugh.
so self-sacrificing. And so I think where Savika became this like hidden gem for me, and I really thought the second season would show us
It won't.
more, but I'm kind of
Yeah.
glad it didn't, and let me tell you why. So, like I said, Arcane has this way of making you care about characters without giving them too much screen time or not a lot of dialogue. So we don't know much about Savika's backstory, but what we do know is that she had a strenuous relationship with her father. Because at one point when Jinx was mad at Silco and Silco's like, I can't find her, I don't know what to do. Um, Savika goes, Savika gives him some advice. She's just like, let's just say I didn't always see eye to eye with my old man. And then when she says that, Imani, you can then tell in every scene when Savika is giving a nasty look to Jinx and Silco that Savika didn't have that kind of relationship with her father. So that's why she's a foil to Jinx. That's why she hates Jinx so much.
Mm.
Because she didn't get that relationship with her father. It's just so good, Imani. Like
I
how
kind of
that
like
one dialogue tells her whole story.
so much. And oh my god, I would literally kill to see so much more of Savika and see her backstory. Like,
That's why I was
she's
thinking
just
like,
such
oh,
a.
so they like hype they set that up so that in season 2 we'll see like maybe how her father was or whatever. Nope, nothing. She's
But
just
again,
on the come up.
she's one of those people where it's like she's very transparent though too. Like I get why it's like she's not a character where like you need to know what they might be hiding because she's like very very transparent in like her beliefs, what she wants, and like a bit of her. It does almost like I see it more now, and I again there's a lot of like I don't know, different types of relationships. Like to me, I see because I think it was hard because it was like I see Savika as this like older adult and I see Jinx as like this kid. But especially in season 2, I started realizing like they are peers and have always been peers. And there's almost like a sibling vibe of
Mm-hmm.
like them both kind of like wanting Silco's attention, you know? And I see like now, like, they're both like trying to live in the aftermath of him being gone and not being able to like control anything, and like there's a little bit of like liberation and like connection that comes out of that with them. And I love that so much. Like I really, that's the thing I admire about Savika too, is like she treats Jinx as the adult she is, that like is responsible for the actions she takes in season 1, and she treats her as like a peer in season 2 of like there's no sense of commanding. She's not trying to play a role of Silco, like she's like, kind of trying to like maintain her in any way. She's like, "You're a crazy bitch." And that's okay. And some of these people need that crazy bitch. Like, you know, like you have to be such a humble character to let this like younger kid who like low key she a little crazy, like be like, you should be the one, these like you're the one that inspires these people, you know, rise to that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She really.
And then she becomes a counselor in the end.
Oh my god, yes. Which like fucking deserved. Like so
Honestly,
fucking deserved.
she looks like a counselor. Like when she came in with that poncho over her arm, I'm like, you earn your spot. But like, see, Jace and Savika, I feel like are the only ones we've seen who actually earn their counselor
Earned.
spot.
No, really.
I'm like,
Nepotism.
I'm like Mel. I don't know. I can respect that you
They're part
did.
of like families too. Like there's like some
Yeah, yeah.
family like
I'm
shit
like,
too.
Mel, you did something, I don't know what, and you rose to power. Like, I can respect that
Right.
you're here and you're great, but I
She
don't
just
know.
walked in one day and they were like, "Do we know you?" And she's like, "I'm the new council member." Just
She's like,
sat
yeah, I want to
down.
put in this application for a counselor, and they're like, all right, we ain't had a black woman yet, so
Yeah, it was representation will kill it. No, but so real. Like I've been wanting Savika to get the respect that she deserves. And again, it is a difference between like being a leader and being a hero, almost a sort of thing. Like there's a really almost self-sacrificing nature of being a hero that Jinx like kind of attempts to fulfill, you
mm-hmm.
know, near the end. And I think it makes Savika to me has always been a leader though. Like has always kind of had that role.
Yeah.
Damn, I love her.
So
Are we still on my list? Holy
yeah,
shit. Okay.
we gotta
But we can
speed it
we
up.
can also just talk about characters because a lot of these people are also high up for us. Jinx is okay. Like
Jinx is okay.
Jinx. Oh,
No,
Jinx. Okay. Jinx and Vi were gonna be top regardless, so I feel like I'm having a hard time figuring out like with the words of why. I'm like, obviously Jinx is up here. Like,
honestly,
like I don't even
so
know.
Jinx, Jace, Vi, and Victor, they're like the main characters of the
For this
show.
season.
And so,
Oh, wait.
Imani, like, how often do you get all of those characters like close in the same three tiers? Like, they're both. I mean, I can look back at mine, but I'm pretty sure like both of ours have those four
Yeah,
characters
like
high
up
up.
up there.
Like, they were just good. They were the characters to carry the story. It was good.
Absolutely. Like they rose. I think again, it's like they all rose to it. Like I think that's why they have such a big impact. Like Jinx rose to her and like that's the thing. Neither of us have powder. Wait, let me see, let me see. You do have powder, but you have powder at the bottom. And I don't think I think it's just because it's like, you
I
know,
just
like
didn't. I like. I was like, why is there powder and Jinx? I don't get it. And I'm like, oh, I guess you're trying to say that like this is like, did you like the character
different
powder
characters.
before Jinx? I'm like, I'm just gonna consider them all to be the same person.
Exactly. And I think
So
that's sort of like to me that's the metaphor of like all of these people, the way that Arcane flows, because I think there are two different ways of do not two. There are plenty of different ways to do characters, but I feel like two common ones are like you introduce a character, this character is like this, and by the end of the story, like who they are gets tested, but at the end of the day, they are still that, and like they prove that they will never change that. Very Captain America mindset. We're in an Iron Man mindset where it's like they start at one thing and over the course of the story they fundamentally change. Like fundamentally change who they are, grow into this new person at the end they are this new person. That is all of fucking Arcane. Like there are a few characters that are consistent and they're good for that. They like provide such good foil. But I think because of the change is so attractive and it's so exciting to see people like become new things. Of course Jinx is up here. Of course Vi is up here. Like of course Victor is up here. Like they all become so like they like Jinx was a person that was created and we got to see and witness the creation of that. Like I have just been so invested in her story, in her development, in her characterization. Like I don't even know if I really have much to say about Jinx. Like I have always been invested in her even when she was powder. Like I don't even know. It's just like I'm like where else would she be? Which I know crazy that she's not all the way at the top. and that might have been my mistake. But it's just because it's for more emotional reasons that she's not all the way at the top. Because Jinx has always been able to handle. Jinx has always been able to like handle herself. Again, it's one of those things where I don't think she's ever made a mistake. That's a. Whoa. I don't think Jinx has ever made a mistake. I don't know what that means. Like, I know she's done stuff, but I don't think she moves through life with regrets. I think she internalizes everything she's done, and I think it becomes part of her. And I think that's a super interesting way to do a character. Because I think she only believes that she is a hero when she does something heroic. She had to see the proof of her being able to do it. You talk now.
Yeah, Jinx has never made a mistake, even though the entire reason why she. No, I know what you mean. I'm just like, I don't think Jinx has ever made a mistake. It just cuts to Powder just blowing up, just getting Milo and Clagger killed, and yeah, just.
Fair.
I don't know.
And I feel like, again, it's like, if again, Jinx is such an outward character. Oh my god, I love her. Like her character, like it has to be someone on the outside.
They're coming to arrest you for your opinion, Imani.
Huh?
They're coming to arrest you. They're coming to arrest you for your opinion.
I know. I think the lights just bounced off my forehead.
Like, what did she just say? Nah, dog, that's some crazy stuff.
Hello? Not really. But like, to me, that's the thing I find so attractive about Jinx's character that draws me in so much. I literally feel like even near the end, someone has to tell her who she is or who she's capable of being. And like, I think that's why I say, like, I don't think she's ever made a mistake. And I'm like, I think in her mind, she's never made a mistake. If I had rolled up to her and been like, hey, like, what you did was wrong, you made a mistake, but I forgive you, or like, we can work through this, whatever, I think she would have internalized that as like, I made a mistake. But that's not what Vi says. Vi's like, you're fucking Jinx. Like, this is because you're a Jinx. This is because of who you are. And so she internalizes that of being like, it wasn't a mistake. It was what I was inevitably meant to do, which is screw shit up. That's what I mean.
Yeah, Jinx. Man. Actually, wait. I don't know why I'm talking about this like she's in the same place with my tier list. Never mind. We'll talk about it another. Go to next.
Okay. The Arcane. I know you said you don't think it's a character. I kind of feel like it is.
I don't either, but it's one of the. If we were doing a tier list of MacGuffins, man, that would be. We should do a. Is there a MacGuffin tier list?
MacGuffin tier list?
Oh, I mean, there might be some that you won't know, some that I won't know, because I definitely consume more fantasy than you. So
Can you imagine someone who didn't watch Arcane and they just see that image and they're like, "Oh yeah, the Arcane, great MacGuffin." It's like, what is that?
What am I looking at? What? Yeah.
I will say visually, the Arcane triggered me so much. It's just such a creepy, like with the fucking like wild runes and shit. It played its fucking role. I feel like, I don't know, because we were talking about whether or not Sky is Sky or if Sky is the Arcane, and I feel like I was like, I feel like the Arcane had some influence on Sky and Victor and Jace. Like, I think it. I don't know if it has an agenda necessarily, but I think it has a chaos energy. And I would consider that like semi a character. And like that can like be in relationship to the other characters around it. But yeah, no, if we're ranking it on that, she's a bad bitch. The Arcane made Jace interesting. I like the Arcane gave Jace a trauma backstory. Fair enough. The Arcane fucking fixed Victor, like it the Arcane caused so much. I mean, like, it was just like, where else would it be other than like high up, and again, great MacGuffin. Like, which again, it's hard because you don't want anything that like feels too much like a character in the sense where it's like it supersedes like other characters' ability to make decisions for themselves. It has to be a thing of opportunity, and I think the Arcane is literally an entity that feels synonymous in this show with opportunity. Everyone takes a chance with it, and they do vastly different things with it, and it allows characters who have the ability to choose to choose things that are like that really really expand and like connect to who they are as characters. And I think that like it just allows for so much beautiful conflict in the show. And I for that reason it's such a good like plot device. It's really good. And it makes sense. Like I believed that it can exist in this world. It seemed natural to me, and its destruction also felt very natural to me.
Yeah, I mean I put it in this here. It was good. I'll say more about it when we get there.
We get there. Okay, and so the last thing I'll say is, and I think at this point it's probably just gonna be mostly. I think we can hit on who's in my top three, but like I'm probably just gonna talk about it with you. But Echo, Echo might Echo should be in my top. These are my tops, but like Echo this fucking season,
The boy savior.
the boy savior really lived up to that name. Before I was a little not worried. I mean, like you do whatever you do with the characters, but like Act 3 Echo, fucking insane. Act 3 Echo is like I it felt like I was like introduced to like a character that I hadn't known fully before. Like I'd known him, but like it felt like it felt like the weight of everyone else's shit was burying this character, and finally he was liberated from it and was like, fuck this shit. Like I know I can like be an active player and like be like someone that shows up in the last fucking 10 minutes of the show. Like it's it's like we kind of know he's capable of these things, and it also I feel like shows us that there's no like natural order in this world. There's no like idea that like this character has to be, and I feel like it's a direct contrast to Jinx's like when Vi's about to punch her brains out or whatever, being like, I'm glad it's you, it had to be you. Like it contradicts this narrative that it had to be anyone, that like that like it had to be Jace or like Mel or Caitlyn, like this idea that like you're the one that's meant to defeat this person, or you're the one that's meant to have a conflict with this person. Like the sense of like inevitability and prophecy that's so evident in season 1, I feel like it's just breaking it in season 2, and Echo feels like such a mover of that message of like he shows up way hella late, but like god, Act 3 Echo has my fucking heart, and like oh my god, he just has my heart and my soul, and it's made me love him so much more as a character. And I love, again, he just has this mindset of like it feels like him as a character was like breaking plot, where like it almost felt like he wasn't supposed to be there. At the end, he wasn't supposed to be the one to figure it all out. He wasn't supposed to be the one to save Jinx. Like it felt like he was literally the one breaking time. Like even throughout like larger than the show, it felt like he was the one that was like breaking these systems and being like, no, it was giving Miles Morales. I'm sorry, I don't want to make comparisons, but every time I think of it, I'm just like, it's giving Miles. Like he's like,
It is.
no,
It
I'm
is
gonna do it
though.
my own way.
It is though. Like Echo. I'm gonna jump into my tier.
Do it.
Echo. First off, I'll talk about. I mean, I already talked about Savika. Ambessa, goated. Arcane, not really a character, but one of the greatest MacGuffins. I loved it. Silco, just a good villain, just a good character altogether. But let's get to these other three, okay? Listen, Echo. First off, I just want to. This is the thing that makes me respect Echo's character. The fact that this man had arguably the life he always wanted in this alternate world, and didn't, not even for a second, Imani. It wasn't even like a oh well, I guess I kind of could be here. Like it was nothing like that. Echo was always like, yeah, we should get the heck out of here. And even Heimerdinger's like, well, no, don't you think that like there could be some?
He's
like,
nice here.
it's kind of nice here, and it's like Echo, like maybe he knows that he's like taken over like this Echo's body, but he's like, we're not supposed to be here, and I can just respect that so much.
No,
Like
literally.
Like Echo, there was nothing keeping it. It wasn't like he was like keeping the other Echo like trapped or like replacing him. It wasn't anything like that. Like Echo just, yeah, he just accepted that this isn't his life, and not a lot of characters would do that. Not a lot of
No,
characters would do that. And I'm like,
like not
I
even
loved
close
it
I think.
because I was like, man, honestly, I'd go
If it were
back.
me,
No. I'm just like, honestly, I'd go back.
yeah.
I'd go back to this life too. I would. I sure would. I love it too much.
You mean the life, like your life right now, or you mean the
Yeah.
life that they're living? Because I don't,
No,
I'm not
no,
going back
I'm
there.
not going back there. No. No, but I'm saying like this like I don't know how it could be any better, but if it were somehow a better life for me, like I wouldn't pick it. I'm like, no, I'll go back. Like it's just I love this life. Anyways,
No.
yeah, Echo is just so he's just so goaded. He's just so
So goated.
like I just don't know what else to say about him. Like the man. I mean, when I saw him in the first season, I was like, this dude is something else. Like, and I wanna touch on Echo and Jinx's fight in the first season because
Bro.
I wanted to ask you one question. Do you think when they showed the like quote like the backstory of young Echo and young Powder like playing the game, do you think that was the alternate universe, or do you think that was just them as kids? I mean, because both good work, but like
Ooh.
because and I want to go back. I want to touch on like why is Echo still like why is he carrying around this watch? He like because remember before he attacks Powder, he like presses the stopwatch, and I'm like, why?
Oh my god. Oh, okay. So I will say I feel like that was a flashback. Like I think that was like a gorgeously one of my favorite Arcane like sequences scenes. But I do think like that was like to be able to go back and hint on something that like honestly I feel like the writers just like didn't have enough time to explore when Powder was Powder because it was such a short amount of time was like the intimacy of that relationship at one point to show how like how much the contrast is like how it's like they're no longer playing games anymore like it's serious. But I rewatched that scene and I was like, did they always know that like Echo was gonna like have like a really strong role to play with like time and like turning back time? Because that's the message I got, like with the stopwatch. Like something with Echo has always had to do with like time and
And
timing. And
when
I
we
feel
first
like
see Echo, he's fixing a grandfather clock. He's
oh
fixing
my
a
god.
clock. He said, and it doesn't. I think he said, "Oh, just give me more time. Like, hang on a sec. Like, man,
Dude,
but
they set up his
this
character
is the kind of
so
stuff. This is the kind of stuff you can do when you outline your story, Imani. This is the kind of
true.
stuff you can do. It's so cool.
Literally.
Like, and I'm
So
not
fucking cool.
saying that. Look, if you want to get your story out there, like, please get it out there. Like, but it there's no rush to it. Like, you have to think about why you want to create the story. Do you want to create the story just for someone to read on a like on a flight to Miami, or do you want them to read about it like and inspire them to write or something, or inspire them to create a story? Like, you have to think about that because like that's how much that it all depends on how much you think of your outline.
Hmm.
Like how much detail do you go into your outline? Are you just like, okay, I mean, point A goes to point B, and then B goes to C, and then C goes to D? Like, yeah, that's how I have the story going, and that's how it's gonna go.
And you know what? It's not even sometimes that like sometimes it's just doubling back. Like once you finish the story, it's okay to double back and add things that's like, oh, this connects to this thing I now know about. Like
Mm-hmm.
not you're not gonna fully even know your characters until you start, fully writing them, you know?
Yeah,
But
do you know
like
how many
it's okay to
times?
go back.
Yes, do you know how many times I've like been writing something and I'm like,
Like literally.
I didn't even know my character did that, or I didn't even know my character knew that. That's so crazy.
Literally me typing, I'm like, that's crazy that they would say that. And I'm
I'm like,
like, my fingers moving, that's crazy.
But like, yeah, like the story kind of writes itself. When you start outlining, you'll realize that the story kind of writes itself,
It
and
does.
you're just kind of the director or the producer.
Lucky. No, literally. Just a passerby that's like, that's insane. We
That's
gotta tell
crazy.
this.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
time check, I
yes,
will say I should we might need to finish up by the 50 mark. So I have enough time to actually get ready before I need to
we're
leave.
running out of time. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Trauma.
Um, yeah. So Echo, I mean, he was just a great character, just great design, great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, loved him. Episode 7, probably. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. They sure did do that on purpose. Episode 7 being Powder and Echo, and then episode 7 in season 1 being them like punching each other and fight. Like
They knew.
they
They were
knew,
like, we didn't forget Echo. We were just
they knew,
waiting.
they knew.
That last act was crazy. Oh,
So all right, so moving on. Jinx. I don't think I have. I don't think we're gonna get to this 50 mark because, I mean, last two characters.
yeah, but they're also the last two. Like
The
these are
last two, yeah.
the
But
characters.
I don't have much to say about Jinx that I haven't already said like with someone else. I feel like Jinx. Um, I feel like one, despite what Imani might think, Jinx is alive. Um,
Throwing me under the bus for shit I said
yeah,
off
yeah,
podcast.
yeah, yeah. Jinx is alive. Um, and I don't know what they plan for her, but man, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. I think
Oh,
Jinx, she's one of the reasons behind this entire. Um, she's just such a conflicted character, and I just love conflicting characters. I also, not that Jinx is this, I also love hypocritical characters. Like, there's kind of an insanity to being a hypocrite, like in a character. Like, I don't know how I can't explain it to you, but like something about a character like saying they would never do this while simultaneously like doing it. I don't know. I eat that up. I
interesting.
love that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Jinx is just that kind of character that she went through a lot of hardship. I mean, I feel like I would have written a character like Jinx. Not that, oh, I'm just this good writer that would. No, I just mean like I would like flaws and all. I love characters with flaws. I love characters that make mistakes. And Jinx makes mistakes.
No, actually, she doesn't, and she
J-
never has, and she never will. 'Cause
Jinx
she's
makes
perfect.
Jinx makes yeah. Jinx makes mistakes not because of what she didn't want to do or what she couldn't do, but because of what she wanted to do. She wanted to protect her parents. She wanted to protect her family. And because of that, she got them killed. If she didn't show up, but at the same time, if Vi had just let Powder go with them, it wouldn't have happened. It's like it's just this. And okay, Milo, that's why you're at the bottom. You caused your own death too, bro. Because if you
Crazy.
weren't going around constantly, I told you she's a Jinx, bro. Like she's internalizing this while Vi is like, no, don't go with us because you're a kid and I don't want you to get hurt. And so Powder's over here like, dang, even my sister doesn't believe in me. Ah! Like I'm gonna show them. Like all of it is because of other people. It's so unfortunate that Jinx is just the she's not even she's just the unfortunate like um
Yeah,
what's
say
it,
it.
she's the I don't know, she's the unfortunate like tragic character of other people
Yeah, other
because of
people's
other people's decisions.
literally, and it's I think that's why I admire her so much because I feel like she's made like, but she doesn't feel shallow with it. She feels more grounded than ever because of it. It's like you're right, like she's such a foil to herself, but it makes so much sense. And I think that's why I'm also excited to see what comes of her because I think again, like season 1 was accepting Jinx that Jinx exists and is that's who she is now. And see I like re-see her humanity so much in the second season, especially because you're going into the season with the idea that it's like enemy Jinx, like one on her head.
And the
But
trailers
like,
told you that. I really thought, man, we should talk maybe in a different, maybe another episode. I don't know, but we should really talk about the fact that I thought this show was gonna go in such a different way. I mean, we had an
oh
episode where we talked about it. I said that Jinx was gonna have to die at the end of this.
yeah, and I remember, and
And
I
then
was
I
like,
remember texting them at some point, and I was like, wait, I don't know why I don't know
yeah.
why somehow I just like didn't think about the idea that Jinx could like survive and like she doesn't have to die.
I was gonna say this is a real like this season is really like it's just throwing you off at every turn. Like it's really the culmination. I think that's what I like. It's like it's not the idea that like okay, once we put everything in this big pot, like it only makes this one thing. It's like we put everything in this big pot and like till the last minute it could have gone anyway. Like you literally don't know how
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna go. I love how much I love how much Jinx doesn't like exists but doesn't exist, I think, in the second season. Like she is a symbol, but I think before she was just a symbol and now it's like she's so much more than that.
I'm just
Like
happy that she did so much healing this season too. And here
so much.
she's just that scene where she's kind of lollygagging about it, but she's like, here I am, your big fat
Big fat
hero,
hero.
whatever. And then everybody's like, and
The
she's
touch, oh
the
my
touch,
god.
and she's like, because remember there when Vi said, I'm not gonna abandon you, like, and she tried to touch Jinx's shoulder. She's like, shut up, everybody shut up, I have to think. Like, but now, like, she has all these people like giving her very sincere looks and like giving her a touch on the shoulder. Like, I
Again,
think
like being touched in a way that is soft. Like that
yeah.
isn't like violence. Like that's huge.
Especially since Vi was the one to punch her. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think that oh, there was people were complaining that we didn't get that like Jinx rally scene, but I think that was it. Like we don't like that's the thing, and that, again, that's why Arcane is so good about knowing what we do and do not need. Like we didn't need another like Jinx rallying scene because it already happened. Just like those same people that Jinx broke out of jail are the same people that went with her when they like came back in the final fight,
Right.
like when they like come through the smoke, like it's the
Right.
same thing. It's so good. Like there didn't need to be a
You don't
rallying
need to
scene.
rally everyone. Like it's sometimes it's not about like the volume. It's just the people. Again, that's why like they do a lot of like they don't do a lot of like mass crowd whatever whatever. It's like recurring people that are coming back and showing up. You get the same images of people.
Yeah.
All right,
All
but
right.
Miss
Bye.
Violet. Ooh,
Bye.
ooh. Violet's also hot. I just want to say that off the bat because there's some deep stuff we need to say about her character. But every time she's on screen, I'm just like, what if she picked me up? You know?
What if she no, I'm just kidding. Bye. Like I want detail like this in my story because just the fact that there was a boxer that was analyzing by her fighting style and everything,
Mhm.
and they were harping on the fact that Vi constantly like starts a fight with this right hook, and the
We talked about this.
entire time the show literally, and I was like, oh yeah, I never noticed that, it's kind of a coincidence, and I'm like, but it's not a coincidence. They keep doing this. Every time I saw like in season 2, I'm like, she still does this. Like she's just internalized this. It's just her. It's so good. Like, and I know maybe it's not that hard to like, keep paying that internalization off, but I don't know. It's still just so good to like keep seeing it.
It's such a good, especially when like your character, like the main weapon that they use, like their marker is just their fist. It adds a special like sort of uniqueness to it. Of like, it's not just like she always punches. It's like she always punches with the right hook. You know?
And the fact that I think, all right, that scene of them of of Jinx and Vi in the cave, and they were arguing, and it's kind of heartbreaking. Vi, it was kind of heartbreaking. Vi saying, "What about those? You wouldn't be all your cheap tricks, like, oh." You were once saying that she was gonna create something great one day, and now you're talking bad about it. That's really sad. But then Jinx killed her though. Now Jinx won that fight. Jinx cooked. The way she was like, listen, you didn't even build them. You didn't even beat me last time. Like, and she's like, oh, what about I'm glad our parents didn't get to see their daughter turn into a freak. And they're like, or a psycho. And Jinx is like, which one? Which freak are you talking about? Like, and her taking off the gloves and being like, I don't need these to. Shut up, dog. Shut up. Because Vi doesn't think with her head though. Like, and like that's just their characters. Jinx thinks with this and this. Vi thinks with this, and that is it.
Like her again, she's so Vi's like so fiercely, like she's one note, but she does it like so holistically. She's like she will ride or die for the people she loves. Period. Point blank. Period. No matter fucking what. Like it's so admirable. It says so much about because like it can feel one note, but it never did with Vi. Like especially just because like again, I think they do these characters so well. I feel like if it was a male character, it could be more complicated because they love making male characters that are like brute force, that sort of thing. But it's like the assumption is that those people don't feel anything. And I like that they've twisted this thing where it's like she punches because she feels so much. And like that's something that she expresses outside of just like her anger. Like she is a heavily, heavily emotional character. And I loved seeing that. I saw that like in season 1, but I loved seeing that in season 2. Like, just how incredibly emotional and like this was a mistake and passionate and like just loving she is. That's like the foil that I love about Vi. She's an incredibly violent person with like an incredibly insane amount of love, and it's like that feels like it shouldn't be a marriage, but it marries beautifully in her. Like,
yeah, I also think that I also like just love. I want more characters like these because I just think that what I hate, and a lot of fantasy definitely. There's like this idea, like I like when girls wield weapons, like a woman wielding like a sword, like this big sword, like and they're just like these dainty girls that just look like they've never picked up a plate, let alone a sword. And you're just like, I'm sorry, but I would never believe that this character is a warrior. I'm sorry. But like Vi, I got these muscles and what Vi, I'm like, okay, I can see it. Vi is literally
she's
like,
so
yes,
small, bro.
she's so small. I'm like, I believe it, bro. And like, I just think that like, not only that, but those are usually the characters that are Mary Sue, the ones that are dainty and beautiful, but also they can wield a sword and they're cool and whatever else. It's just like, what I just like, I like believable characters. That's like, and I don't know why people think that's such a crazy thing. Like, I don't know.
No, oh my god, like that's one of the things that really, really drew me to Arcane character design wise was like the fact that they were like, if we're making a warrior, regardless of gender, they're gonna be built.
Exactly, like Mbessa.
Built. Yes, yeah. Mbessa is built. Savika is built. Vi is built because these people can fucking beat the shit out of each other. Like, it's been something it's so simple, but I admire it so much. And again, it's not one note. Like, it's like not all the characters. Like, Jinx is super skinny, but like she's also like super fast, and like it makes sense that she can be that nimble. Given that, again, Mel like isn't terribly like built either, but like she doesn't have to be, especially not for her magic or anything else. Caitlin's a fucking sharpshooter. She doesn't like. She's probably like somewhat built, but like she has like more ability with like agility and like maneuvers and stuff like that. You know. Love Vi's character design.
Yeah, Vi. Did you like her
And her
more?
tattoos.
Did you like her more like this, or with the darker hair that she has in the later episodes?
I literally thought if I ever did a Vi cosplay, I would do a dark, depressed Vi. But that's because I don't know, man. She's in her dark era. Hmm, I liked both. I don't like seeing her depressed. I didn't like seeing her like that. But character design wise, like I fucked with it. But truly, she was going through something
I
all
don't know.
along.
I definitely liked Jinx's design better at the end. The shorter hair, the pink, the one strand of pink in the blue, or no, like the purple, and then like the chest piece. Oh, it was good.
True.
And I know I was gonna say we're gonna talk about when we get there, okay? And we're here. Imani, that scene. First off, Jinx being the one to save Caitlyn, just like the one like F you know. But also just Jinx like
So so fucking cool. I
so good.
like I like we know she's a bad bitch, but like she just exists so much and like we got so much like we got so many more like personal moments with her and like her like kind of like I don't know, not even more so, but like we don't get a lot of Jinx hero Jinx. Like big like grand gesture. Like we wanted that so bad. Like oh my god.
And
It
again,
was so
I
fucking
feel like it was
satisfying.
just her like exemplifying it again, just like here I am, your big fat hero. Here
Mm-hmm.
I am. Like, ugh, so good, so
So
good.
real. Her and Echo, oh my god. Her and Echo was also Echo's such a beast on the battlefield too. Like again, like we're talking about like everyone is getting murked by these fucking robot people. Not Echo. Like sure he reminds time every once in a while, but I'm like this motherfucker was beaming through bitches. Crazy.
I also just want a skyboard. Can we have that technology already, guys? Can we have a skyboard? Can we be able to skate through the sky? Like, can we be there already? Because
No,
I need that. Man, when I say
I the way I know you would fall, like I don't trust you with that.
nah, no, I'd literally kill it. I mean, it'd be so cool just to ooh, you know what, Imani? I'm doing an Echo cosplay. I'm gonna work on it. I'm going to 3D model because I'm a 3D modeler. I'm going to 3D model his entire board. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna save up money. I'm gonna buy a 3D printer. I'm
Whoa.
going to make his board, bro. It'll be so good.
I'm like I really do think we should also I think we could definitely convince Tara to do a Mel cosplay. I don't think it would be hard.
That's true because like Mel doesn't have a lot of parts. All Tyra would have to do find the dress, find everything. Like all she had to do a
Right.
few strands, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like she could do that.
It's mostly makeup and like a really nice fit.
I was telling Tyra, I was like when we were going to the Renaissance Festival,
Mm-hmm.
Tyra was like, I hope no one talks to me. I don't want to do any like, oh hello fellow traveler. I don't want to do any of that. I'm
Which
not doing
okay, girl,
it.
get off your high horse. I'm kidding.
Right. Yeah, but
But I also like that's fair. But no, I really think it doesn't even have to be. It could just be like
I
we
also
go
want to make
out. Like
Jinx's pistol.
whoa,
I want that pistol. I really do. I really not like that. I just mean like I really want to make that pistol. Like I want a handheld version of that. I think it's so cool. Yeah.
you can make that dice I got you like last year,
Mm-hmm.
like the blue dice. That could be the fucking like the little hex.
The hex
I don't know
tech.
what it's called.
Oh shoot. Well,
Yeah.
you're so right. That would be kind of cool though. Like sticking it like I could roll my D20 that way. Kind of cool.
You just shoot it out. Wait, low key.
Be kind of
Oh my
cool
god, just
playing D&D.
kidding. Jinx actually plays
Hey,
D&D, guys.
Hey, Imani, just like random random question. Would you ever play D&D?
Um,
Like if you had time,
I
do
think
you,
I would. I think I would try it out. I'm just kind of worried that I wouldn't like it. But I think I would probably like if I tried it once with a friend, but like not like super seriously. I think I would. It's just like I have to know so much to like get into it. That's sort of just
Mhm.
it's just like a learning barrier.
Yeah.
But I think I'd prefer to like play it like not online though. Like I feel like it'd be more fun.
Oh, definitely in person. Yeah. I yeah. I I would love to be a dungeon master. I sure would. I would love to take
You
you and
would be a
Tyra.
really good.
I would love to
You
take
would be.
you, Tyra, and like a bunch of different people through like
Mm,
a D&D campaign. I think that'd be so fun. I honestly,
I think
if I had the
you'd be
time,
good at it.
I would read up. I would read up on it and try it out.
Cause
Sure
yeah,
would.
just I think playing is also just good study. Like if you are playing consistently, you can start thinking like, how would I do this? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, before we go, I realize that there is someone that you have higher, or that you have lower that I have like at my tippy top that I just wanted to take a second to talk about, and that is Victor.
Who, Mel?
Hello, I I have Isha up here too, but I already talked about Isha. I had said I was gonna move her up,
All
but
right, go ahead and talk about
I will say, yeah, this is my thirst moment. Okay, I get one every
all
episode.
right.
Look, sometimes you like a little sick man with an accent, you know, or those piercing brown eyes. Honestly, no. The thing I'll say as briefly as I can. You're funny, bitch. You better turn towards me. You better give me your full attention, dude. Okay, I this isn't even fully about Victor because I definitely liked Victor in season one. Jace definitely annoyed me. I think this is what I want to say is more just about Victor and Jace's relationship. I like there are relationships that that I hold on to so much, and these are some of my favorite relationships where it's like cosmic. Like there was shit where it was like before we'd even like conceptualized each other in this version of the universe, we were destined in this way to come to this conclusion, whatever that is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were complaining about. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, they just like they pulled out of nowhere because every media, every fantasy thing is talking about the multiverse, and they were trying, so they just pulled that out of their ass, bro." And
Which is like, no, they had it set up season one. Like, what do you
I'm
mean?
like,
It's
it kind of,
Jason's whole backstory.
I'm like, it can kind of, it definitely seems that way. I can see that because like everyone is doing it, but like not as good as this.
I was gonna say like I see like everyone has been doing it, but it's like the fact that we keep it's a good plot line, and the people that I've seen do it well have done it drastically differently. Like this is a completely different. I don't consider this like. I think this is done in a very different way. Like the multiple universes, because it's like kind of multiple universes, but it's sort of just like multiple based off like different events. Like it's done very pointedly. Like it's not like Multiverse of Madness where it's like let's filter through all of them, let's see all these different versions. It's like there are two different universes that we think are important for you to know about. And for the sake of the story, one of them explores this like the relationship between
Well,
Echo
three
and Jinx.
because of the other one that where it's already been destroyed and everything that Jace was in.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about those two.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm not considering like the like our current
Oh,
one.
okay. I thought you were okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, like that, like in terms of ones that split off, like I think again that's a specific way that they did it, where it was like we think the two that you like the characters need to see and experience for you to be able to come back into this universe with that knowledge. That's doing it in a very different, specific way. That's like Echo, you need to see this, you need to experience Powder or Jinx in this way to be able to come back and kind of virtually save her. Like to be able to like and save this world with the mindset of like no remembering and knowing what we're all fighting for. Because I feel like that's the mindset Echo goes back with is like I understand like what we're all fighting for. I needed to remember that. And again, like then with Jace, it's the opposite of like I like also the same thing of coming back. Like I needed to come back and understand what we're all fighting for. And again, I think the parallel is so fucking interesting. Of like Echo comes back, saves a life. Jace comes back, takes one. But they're both fighting for the idea of like I'm trying to like prevent something, or I'm trying to like make it to a world where we can get to this other thing. Very specifically done in a beautiful fucking way. I loved the episode contrasting Jace and Echo and that stuff. And again, I
Ooh,
think
it's this idea of Jace sees the future, kills the past. Echo sees the present and saves the future. Ooh, that's good.
so good. I like it. It sets up so like it sets up those two. Like I don't think we realize it like in episode 7, but it's like it sets it up where it's like, of course, at the end of all of this with Victor, it's Jason Echo. Like it had to be them. They're the only people that aren't blinded by like this momentary like rage or sorrow or anger or whatever. Like they have the bigger picture in their mind and they're sticking to that. And I love bigger picture Jace. I love like that. I like this idea that I don't know, I just really fucking like this idea that there's a version of Victor out there that like knew that there was that like Jace was both destined to be the one that pushes Victor away so much that he
In
becomes
all
this thing.
timelines, only you
Only you
can show me this.
That line
That line delivery, the way he like kind of said and like, oh, like he's like, only you
you
can show
and in
me.
turn can show me this. Like that just like, but again, it made so much sense. Again, that's why like I don't think we changed Jace's character at all. That like I don't think we changed Victor's character at all. I think they both realized something about themselves and their relationships that was deeper than either of them had realized at the time. And I just like I love that. I really like I can't even I don't even have the full articulation to figure out why I'm so obsessed with it. But again, it's just this idea that like it was always connected in this way, like even as their relationship started to like dissipate, like this idea that like did this Victor know in some sense like this was the path that they were on, and the idea that like there was this breaking and like Victor didn't know, but it was like you're the one that told me to do this. Like again, I think it's that level of complexity and compassion that Jace has for like the fact that partially he's fighting, it's like I promised you this, like that I would destroy in this way. Like it's just such an opposite way, the way that Jinx is also on this kind of destruction, anti-destruction path, and it's just interesting to see another character like go so heavy on the destruction thing of like we need to destroy this thing because it feels negative, but like the fact that in the very end we just get this glimpse and understanding of like the fact that it's to prevent something even scarier, which is just like nothingness, like silence and solitude. And like, oh, I love the idea of like Victor alone at the end of the world being like, I have to find Jace as a child because he's the only one that can save us. I love it.
He's like, oh my God, I just love Victor and all these times. Dang, I was way off. I was way off, dog. Dang.
Hey, sorry, bro.
Whoa, holy. And Bessa, no, you're gone.
No, you're gone.
Wow.
Damn. Hey, Jace, I'm sorry. Oh, you're dead too?
Oh,
damn.
You're gone too. Okay. Yeah.
I like, and again, it's crazy because he's not looking for the person that's the strongest. He's not looking for the person, that's the wisest in the universe that can like be the one to destroy him. He's looking for the person that he knows can get through to the Victor of that time. And he's like, Jace is the only
because
one.
That
like,
device
that's what I get from it. Like,
can't be.
What do you say?
Because that device can't be. Like when Echo throws it, he's like because
that line, yes. He's like, that's literally not possible.
Because Victor's because he's like Echo, the reason why they lost because Echo was never able to return home because he didn't have the right acceleration rune. But in this timeline, Echo was able to figure it out because Jace put so much emphasis on this rune because he was given the right rune.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I was gonna say Jace made so like I forget how much Jace plays a role in all of these things too. Like for some reason, like again, it's just like these two characters that like I think sometimes we forgot how much impact they had on the plot. Like we talk about Singe, like Singe starting everything. Like it's just such a classic story of like creation and like the up and coming and like, oh, let's make sure it doesn't destroy things. Like it's such a classic story that I think we forget how big it is and like how much of an impact it has on the plot of like, Victor and Jace making this technology also leads to so much, and it's them, with all of that impact. It's just that moment with like the echo. That's like so I looked on Reddit and someone was like, when Victor said that, do you guys think it's only Jace could show him this? Like any Jace on any timeline, it's the only Jace is the person in the world that can do it, or like this specific version of Jace is the only one that could show him this, like that. And I think the people are like, I think it's this specific version of Jace because when Echo breaks the mask and he's like, this device isn't possible. It's like surely that's the only time. Like
Yeah.
exactly. I do again, it's just I love a little universe breaking. And again, like
I
people are
also
like, oh,
love
everyone's doing it.
I also love a connect. There's a reason why there's so much multiverse. There's so much like going back in time. There's a reason why there's so many of these stories coming out because we're becoming more in tune with our past and present and looking towards our future. Like that's what we're doing. That's what all this is for. And so like I just loved how in the 7th episode they showed like the hammer and everyone was destroyed and everything. And then they show how it's slowly tying back in the last episode. Like when Jace
seeing the scene like be built is like,
yes,
oh my god,
it's so good.
heroic.
It literally so like Jace realizing where he is and him being like, oh no, and then he's like holding the hammer. He's like, oh no, and then he loses. It's like, dang. But Echo, then Echo.
No, Echo. Oh god,
When I saw that scene, Imani, I'm like, wait, what? No, I thought Jace was supposed to stop. What's good? What? And I'm like, wait, Echo wasn't. Echo didn't get caught. Echo, the boy's savior. This man.
No, literally.
And then, like when Echo is like seeing stars, and he's like, I'm like, you gotta crank it, man. You gotta crank it. You gotta.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Again, and I don't know.
You need to be here too.
It makes me laugh.
You, me, Imani. You, me, Tyra, and Chase watches that final episode on that TV downstairs, Imani.
No, I'm here. I'm here for it.
You need to be there.
I will. I promise. It is literally. The last thing I'll say, because oh my god, I have to go.
Yeah.
It makes, again, it also makes me think that like Jace in some way knew, because there's a sense of inevitability where like I feel like Jace never, like, I think he had a sense of like, oh, maybe this is it, but I feel like even the fact that he immediately just kept on talking once it stopped pausing, like, makes me think that he also in some way knew that like something was gonna happen, something was different this time that would like help. I can't get over them dying together. It's just like, it was this perfect ending. I'm not even mad. And yes, I have been reading so much Jason Victor fan fiction. I don't care. I'll say that on the fucking record. I love them. Okay, I have to leave now.
All right, Imani has to leave. We actually committed to what we were gonna do. I hope you guys enjoyed the Arcane tier list.
That we wouldn't make it. But we did.
We promise we will not talk about Arcane anymore because it will probably consist of literally the rest of our podcast history. So
we get one Arcane reference a podcast. Yeah, and then that's it.
Exactly. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you in the next episode. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I don't know when the next episode is going to be out, but love you guys. See you.
Bye.